Welcome back to Who Watches Us, the movie podcast where we watch the movies, but who watches us?
Who bloody watches us?
That's right. I'm your host, Brendan, joined by my brother Alex, as always.
Hello.
But this week, it's a bit of a special one. We've got a special guest, Nicholas.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
Nick,
Hey.
Who are you? What's your relationship to us? What are you doing here?
Yeah, good bloody cues. My name's Nicholas. I am Brendan's bestie.
Hell yeah.
Brendy and I have been besties for 13 years. We met in year 11 of high school. And we've been besties ever since.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, throughout our friendship career, we've indulged in many different medias. We've done all of Doctor Who together. We've watched a lot of movies together. I've introduced Brendan to one of my favorite genres, which is Hong Kong action movies.
Hell yeah.
They're so good. We watched Infernal Affairs, which is like the original for The Departed. You would like that movie, Alex.
Yeah. I've heard about that, I think.
Yeah.
I think you might have been telling me.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that one's a classic. I mean, The Departed's a classic, but the Infernal Affairs, the OG from Hong Kong. So that's kind of where I fit in. Keen to be here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Welcome in. Yeah, we've been making stuff for a long time. Making a lot of stuff that we've been putting on like you had a YouTube channel when we were in high school, and we made a couple of YouTube videos together with our mutual friend Ramon. And yeah, we did like podcasts back in the day when you were studying, right? We did an episode for like a project that you had that was for James Bond, right?
Yeah. So there was a unit I did in university where we got free reign to create whatever we wanted to create in a podcast. So I'd made a podcast about watching every James Bond movie with someone who's never seen them before. So I had Brendan on for that pilot episode that I made for my university project, and that was really fun. So yeah, it's cool to kind of see this come full circle.
That's kind of a cool concept as well. Side podcast?
Yeah, I dig it.
Side podcast, if this
Side
takes
podcast?
off.
Side podcast?
Bring it back.
Sister podcast? We'll only have, 30 movies to go through?
Yeah.
That's fucking a lot of movies. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of
did not
them.
realize there was that many James Bond
Now
movies.
that Amazon has their grubby little hands on it, they could start pumping them out.
Yeah, their hands are so grubby.
So grubby.
Did Idris Elba ever get to be James Bond, or did they retcon that?
Nah, that never
Everything's
happened. It was just... Yeah, it was just the fans wanting Idris to come in, but he was already like 50 or something by the time
Just a dream.
yeah, Daniel Craig wrapped everything up, I think.
True. I've also never seen a James Bond movie.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. What were you guys doing?
Well, that's like part of the premise for this podcast. Like, I've seen like 0 movies.
Yeah. Well, I definitely...
We've seen our fair share, for sure, yeah. And we've been rating movies together for quite a while as well. Like, we went to the cinema quite a bit. We had a friend that worked there for a little while, and we'd go there and get like cheap tickets and do ratings and stuff. And you're on the spreadsheet that I've got as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done some good numbers. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, I've definitely done my fair share. Now I'm kind of stepping into trying to watch a certain amount of movies a year. And this year I did 50 last year. 50 new movies. 50 new movies I did last year. And then this year I've bumped it up to 75 new movies. And
Did you clear 50 easy?
No.
Yeah.
It was an effort.
It was a marathon towards the end, right?
Yeah, like that first.
I was gonna say that's one new movie a week almost.
Yeah.
The first time doing it is hard because there'd be like months where I'd only watch 1 or 2 new movies, and then you've got to really try and hustle. So I think I actually watched my last of the 50 on New Year's Eve.
Dang.
yeah.
Marathon.
Yeah, we definitely watched a few of those together as well. I have very similar goals, and I unintentionally did a lot of this. I kind of just went on a bit of a movie spree for a while. I was trying to watch just a bunch, and I think last year I turned up like 67 or 72 or something like that.
That's good stats.
Just like unintentionally. So this year I have a similar goal, but I'm trying to get to 100. Because it kind of feels like 75. I just have to watch 3 more.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, once you've done 67, you could do 100, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, for sure. What are your numbers
100%.
sitting at the moment?
Oh, and look, it was a good start to the year. I'm tracking it on Letterboxd, so
Right. I've
Let
made
me
my
have a
own
look.
spreadsheet to track mine.
let me have a look at my list. How do I even find it? Lists.
I need to start writing down the movies that I watch.
Yeah.
I never do.
It's very helpful.
I was gonna do it for me and my partner because we were like, we should probably start writing these down.
Yeah.
Because we watch a lot. Well, she puts me onto a lot of new stuff. A lot of stuff she's already seen.
Yeah, which will no doubt be the first time for you.
Yeah, 100%. But I've put her onto some good ones. I showed her Django Unchained. She actually really liked that.
Nice. I actually haven't seen that yet.
It's a good movie.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we spoke about that before as well. Like, there's a couple of Quentin Tarantino movies that you haven't seen. I think Inglourious Bastards is another one, right? You haven't seen that yet?
That was a recent watch. That was a recent watch. Part of my set. Haven't done 75 yet, but I've done 13 of the 75,
13?
and one of them was Inglourious Bastards.
Nice.
Yeah, and that movie was bonk.
13 including Fargo?
Yeah, 13 including Fargo. That was my 13th.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that I just
How
put
good
on
is
there.
Inglourious Bastards?
It's so good, man.
What a good
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
It was good. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5, which
Nice.
is good
nice.
numbers.
We do
Yeah,
add
that's 8 out of 10.
That's 8 out of
Yeah,
10.
we do add a 10s here.
No,
None of that 4 out of 5 stuff. What are you?
Get that fucking 5 bullshit out of here.
What the hell?
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sitting at 20 so far.
Yeah, that's very good.
I've also got it so I have like a formula that calculates like how many movies I need to be up to be at my quota.
Oh, yeah.
Like for achieving the goal. So my expected quota is 27. So I'm still 7 movies behind.
Dang, really?
But yeah.
I thought, I guess it's April, so that makes sense for 100. But 20's good numbers.
Yeah, it's not bad.
20's very good numbers.
Definitely not bad.
And I've been counting like movies that I kind of have seen, but I haven't, like, I don't remember them. And then I'll count them on my list as well. Because it's pretty much like watching them for the first time.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing. Because like, I feel like I've never seen a James Bond movie, but I've seen like bits and pieces of one of them.
You must
Probably
have. It's
Casino
so
Royale.
hard to avoid.
It has to be Casino Royale.
It was
Yeah.
the one in like the snow. There was
That's
snow.
every Bond movie ever.
There was a Russian guy.
Always in the snow.
He's either Russian or German. I don't remember.
It's not the latest one, right? No Time to
No,
Die.
it was pretty old. I think it was
okay.
not one of the first ones.
No,
but
a
it
lot
was
of
like
Roger Moore movies are in the snow. He's
it was
got
at
quite a few
least like
snows.
it was at least like 70s or 80s.
70s and 80s is Roger Moore's era. From early 70s until the early 80s. So it's probably one of his. If he was just
Probably.
banging chicks left, right, and center, it was Roger Moore.
I think he was banging like 3 chicks at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds like Roger Moore. Oh, dirty dog. Oh, Rog.
The Spy Who Banged Me.
That's stupid.
That's so crazy. That's like pretty much an accurate title. Who is James Bond? This is not the point of this. We'll save it for the.
Yeah, this is for a different podcast.
Yeah.
We can talk about this. We can just talk
start
through
up this-
fucking yonks.
Yeah.
Wait, before we move on, I did want to circle back to the Hong Kong action films.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the movie with Jackie Chan? I think it's Jackie Chan, and he's a good dude, but then he
All of
kind of
them.
gets into bad shit. His little brother becomes a little degenerate. And I think his name's like Jet or something. Spoilers.
Whoa. Spoilers.
That is,
And then
there.
the police are after him.
and the police are after
Yeah.
him.
After Jackie Chan, yeah.
What?
It's kind of like a gang. It's a gang turf wars. It's in Chinese, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it's like a Hong Kong action film. That was my question. Is it a Hong Kong action film?
Well, I don't know what movie you're talking about. to answer that question.
I legit like watched it on a whim, but it was actually really
And it was
good.
Jackie Chan. And was he young or older?
I think he was like, I don't know, he looks like the same
He has to
age.
be pretty young.
I think he was young-ish. He looked like at least 30, maybe 40.
I mean,
You know, that dude
I don't
has
know.
looked the same age his entire career.
until now. he's
Until
pretty,
now.
he's
Until
pretty
he
old.
did The Foreigner. Yeah.
I mean, the only one that comes to mind is a 2005 reboot of Police Story, where
I think it was Police Story.
he is essentially is like targeted by a gang that kill his whole squad, and then
Yeah.
he becomes like a degenerate after his gang dies, and then the rest of the movie is like a revenge plot to
He lives
Get
in
this
like a
gang
little
back.
house with his whole gang.
Jackie's part of the gang,
Yeah. And he lives in like a house with all of them.
but is a good guy.
He's like a good dude, but he does like counterfeiting and shit. Cause I think he's
He's a
moved
thief?
somewhere. Maybe.
I don't know.
I
man.
need to know the title of this movie.
I'll be honest, man.
I
You've
don't
lost
know
me.
what's
Well,
Police Story.
while you Google that on the side,
You've lost me.
Okay.
Nicholas, it's fair to say that, you know, you have a pretty good relationship with movies. You love movies. You watch a lot of movies. And, you know, you've got a special place in your heart for spy movies and Hong Kong movies. Is there anything else we're sort of missing there? Or is that pretty much sum
Well, you know,
everything up?
Hong Kong movies, James Bond movies, but my main kind of bread and butter is mostly like very character-driven movies, quite dialogue-heavy, introspective movies. You know, like the
Guys?
the Hers of the world. Her is one of my top fives, I think. Lost in Translation is my number one.
I've heard
That's
that's
a- yeah,
really
that's a good
good.
movie.
I've heard that's really good.
a
I've
good
been meaning to watch that.
Yeah, it is. It's just
Yeah, I
a
like that
beautiful,
movie.
slow, kind of, character-driven movie that kind of instills a little bit of hope. So,
Guys, I found the movie.
no way.
Shinjuku Incident.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that.
Fuck.
Well,
Hence
spoilers.
why,
got spoiled for you.
hence why I never heard
I
of
shouldn't
it
have said
before.
something. Cut that out.
You shouldn't have gone straight to spoilers, maybe.
I thought he would have. I thought I would have seen. Nick would have seen it. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
that's
well,
okay. That's a newer one that I haven't quite.
That's true.
Yeah.
You came in pretty heavy with the expert stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're both to blame.
Yeah.
I think we can blame it a little bit on both.
I'll be
of
happy
us.
to accept mutual blame for that.
Yeah, I'm happy to
Yeah.
accept that. Shake hands.
Shake hands.
Yeah,
Shake hands.
shake hands, boys.
Nice,
Shake
nice.
hands.
I'm shaking.
Alrighty, but we just watched the movie Fargo, and let's just give the spoiler warning now. You know,
Spoilers.
we're gonna talk
We're
about
gonna
Fargo
spoil it.
a lot. And we already spoiled that other movie, so I'm sorry. I couldn't get ahead of Alex for that one.
Spoiler warning: Shinjuku incident. Sorry,
Bleep
guys.
the maybe bleep that name out.
Redacted.
Redacted.
No, you gotta fucking sit with that. That's your fault.
It's my fault, but
uh,
why do other people have to be punished? We could limit the victims to just Nick and you.
Yeah.
Well, collateral
So this
damage.
bloody movie, this bloody movie came out in 1996, and it's directed by the Coen brothers. I actually didn't know that until after we finished the movie, and we saw it in the credits, which I thought was pretty cool. It's also written by the Coen brothers, which is also very cool.
Now, the cool thing is here on my end is that I don't think I've actually seen a Coen brothers movie. I haven't seen No Country for Old Men. I haven't seen Bad Santa.
Oh no! And you haven't seen The Big Lebowski?
I haven't seen The Big Lebowski.
Oh,
So I think this might have been number one for me in terms of the Coen brothers.
Oh hell! Jeez.
This is the second because I've seen No Country for Old Men.
That's a great movie.
Place to start.
Very, very good.
Yeah, maybe you can have a look through a list and see if any of their movies stand out. But yeah, starring William H. Macy. William Hazy
Hazy
Macy.
Mazy, as we like to
Hazy
call him,
Mazy.
because it's always sweaty.
He plays Jerry Lundegaard. We've got Frances McDormand, who plays Marge Gunderson. And we got bloody Steve Buscemi, who plays Carl Showalter. You also got Peter Stormare in there. It's one of my guys. Love a bit of fucking Peter
Mr. Stormare.
And he is Gaear Grimsrud, who I was referring to as old mate in my notes.
Yeah, I just had him down as Guy.
Yeah, the whole movie. And I had Steve Buscemi's character as Grim because I heard the Grimsrud thing and I just falsely attached it to Steve Buscemi. But no, his name is Carl. So I had to go back through my notes and change all the names around.
I just kept him as Steve. I just wrote him down as Steve. Never caught his name.
Call him by the actor's first name.
Yeah.
Personal touch.
You dead named him. So, what are we thinking, boys? Do we recommend this movie?
Hell yeah.
Hell
Should people watch this
to
movie?
the yes.
yeah.
I don't read about movies before I watch them. I go in completely blind. That's how I like to watch movies. This movie was so tight.
Yes, absolutely.
Tight movie. If you're a fan of no fluff in a movie, they don't beat around the bush, then for sure I recommend
Also,
it.
Definitely, yeah.
A fan
I felt
of
like
true
there was
crime.
a little bit of fluff. There was tiny bits of fluff, but it was like necessary fluff. It was very typical for a character to repeat a phrase, but it was sort of important to that character's sort of personality, and also it was like a key part of information that you sort of felt like needed to be repeated. But this is an hour and a half movie. Yeah, 1 hour 38 minutes. That's like a perfect runtime. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, super concise, and like you said, I think everything served a purpose. Right, so everything that a character said or did, even just the shots of, Marge eating food, I feel like is very, it's very conducive to kind of creating her character, and it creates this really interesting contrast of like how casual she is approaching her job, and
It's like a life.
I totally had the same thing. Yeah.
just like so casually approaching her job and doing like just superb police work.
It's like her only reprieve from her police work is pretty much just when she has to sit down and eat a meal.
Spending time with her husband and eating food together.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely think food is so sort of like underrated and underused in movies, and how it can just be such like an important little subtle detail into into like a character similar to when we watched Green Book, and how Tony Lip is fucking eating something in every single scene. He's eating something.
It's chowing down on that fried chicken.
Yeah. All right, just give me one moment.
Got calzone. You seen Green Book, right, Nick?
No. Actually, I haven't.
You haven't.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen the scenes of Viggo Mortensen eating chicken.
He's so greasy in that movie.
So greasy.
That is the greasiest scene.
So greasy. Have some chicken.
Have some chicken. Come on. Just try it. Just try it a little bit. Don't be so
Throw it
precious.
out the window.
Just throw it out the window.
Oh my god, great movie.
Great movie.
Haven't seen it.
Yep. So watch it and then listen to the podcast.
Exactly.
So yeah, we all sort of recommend this movie. This is a good movie. What about you, Alex? What do you think of the movie?
I thought it was a great movie.
Hell yeah.
I did get it, like, I'm not going to lie, I did get a little bit lost at some points because sometimes maybe I didn't hear them very well.
I had to
and
have subtitles on.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I had subtitles on, but I was also trying to take notes, and I was definitely trying to pay as much attention as I could. I did miss some things, but I'd highly recommend this movie.
Yeah.
I think if you're...
I'm in the same boat.
I think if you're a fan of like true crime as well, this is a true crime story. This really did happen. And it's very, like Nick said, to the point.
Yeah. I think that's also false.
Is it?
They, as far as I know, they put that at the start of the movie to sort of beef it up and make it feel more impactful. But I think that is false.
It's not a true story?
I don't think so.
What?
Oh, wow.
Well, maybe the movie is, and maybe the show isn't. Yeah, maybe the movie is. I'll quickly look it up.
Otherwise, they've lied to us. They've lied to us through movie.
You bloody bastard.
I hate it when they do that.
Do that? Oh my god. Well, that just shows how easy it is to get away with putting that at the start of the movie.
Yeah, they are. Oh, actually, I'm not gonna. Fucking AI overview. I can't trust anything an AI overview says.
Good stuff.
Thanks.
Poignant.
Yeah. Neither the movie nor the TV show are actually based on true events.
What?
Oh, wow.
They put it in there for it to be more impactful. Yeah, I definitely learnt that while I was watching the show. I'm like, this is crazy. How did this happen? There's no way that this happened.
Maybe it's supposed to be like a mockery of the sheer amount of movies that came out in the 90s that were like based on a true story. It wouldn't surprise me if they were.
Yeah, probably.
They were like just wanting to poke fun at it a little.
It kind of gives me, but also not so much. Like, they're not really. Like, kind of like Pulp Fiction.
I did think that. I had similar thoughts. Thoughts as a very
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's almost Pulp Fiction-esque.
not necessarily like a Tarantino style, but
No.
some vibes are kind of similar.
Yeah, for sure.
Just kind of
Especially
following these people around, watching them do stuff.
The two thugs.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. It's a nice dynamic as well. Except I kind of feel like in Pulp Fiction, those characters sort of liked each other a little bit.
Oh, yeah. They definitely have a way better dynamic. Like, they actually bounce off each other. But in this one, it's just Steve Buscemi bouncing off a brick wall.
Yeah.
It's still a dynamic, but it's not nearly as entertaining as Pulp Fiction, maybe.
Yeah.
Still great. I don't know. Maybe entertaining is the wrong word to put there, but you know what I mean.
Yep. So, I also enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I would definitely recommend this to anyone. to watch. Maybe not children.
Yeah. No.
But all right, we're sort of tiptoeing around the plot a little bit. Maybe we should just
dive right in.
properly
We're 30
get
minutes
into
in.
it. Yeah, 30 minutes in. We had a little bit of banter at the start.
That's
and
true.
Guest episode, it's special.
It's special. It's a
special
one.
occasion.
Hey,
Hey, I got no problem. This could go for 3 hours.
3 hours.
Oh man. Yeah. It's definitely one.
No, definitely not.
All right.
So, we start this movie with that title card that we mentioned before, where it says like it's a true story depicted on true events, blah blah blah. I wrote down true story, bro, except that it's not,
Yeah.
because I knew ahead of time. Yep. But yeah, there's like we open up. There's like a car that's being towed in the snow, like along this sort of long highway, and it's like a snowy sort of wasteland, really. And it's in North Dakota, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the like sort of establishing shot. But we end up at this bar. It's called the King of Clubs, and I've got a note here that says "What gives, man?" But I don't know what it was for. But basically, there's a couple of goons. They're at the bar and they're meeting up with this. They're waiting for this other guy to show up. And this guy, his name's Jerry, and he's a bit of a. He seems like he's a little bit of a pushover, but he also like haggles quite a bit and is really annoying. It's kind of like a thorn in your side, but
Just a
he's there
pest.
to. Yeah, he's there to meet up with these guys. I'm assuming it's him that's like towing this car to the guys.
True.
Which I didn't make that connection before.
Me neither.
Until I think about it now.
Not until right now.
Yeah. But we're at the bar and one of them is sort of got his head back and he's looked like he's having a bloody snooze. He's snoozing in the bar. Like he's just nonplussed. He's just in his own little world. And that's Peter Stormare, and the other guy is Carl, and that's Steve Buscemi, and they're just sort of like squabbling a little bit, and it sort of revealed that Jerry is planning to have his own wife kidnapped. And the plan is that, you know, his father-in-law is quite rich, and he's going to put up a ransom to get her back. And basically he'll just be like getting his own ransom, and then these guys will get like a share of the cut. I think it's like $40,000 each.
Yeah, 80 grand altogether.
Yeah. To sort of pay them off, because he's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
And yeah, seems like a bit of money trouble. So
But we never really know
they're like,
what he's done, right?
I assume we don't know how he has seemingly like lost this money. But it seems like a little bit later on, there's like he like borrowed money, like $350,000 from this other.
Oh, yeah,
company,
for a parking lot development?
Yeah.
Was that him?
Yeah. Oh, it was. So the details I wasn't too sure about, but I think he used like vehicles as collateral to take out a loan for $350,000 with
the
somebody.
bank, yeah, with that dude.
And so he's using serial numbers for these cars, I believe, but I think they're like falsified to get the money. Probably spent it on something. I don't know what it is that he spent it on, but I sort of speculated that he's trying to get this money to get him out of that.
Yeah, get him out of debt.
situation.
Return the money, yeah.
Yeah, or he's just a greedy little Jerry, and he wants to be better off in life, because, you know, while he's trying to get, like, he's scheming to get this money with the kidnapping plot, he's also trying to get an investment for like a parking lot through Wade, the father-in-law, as well. So he's sort of like spinning a lot of plates to try and get money and I guess he's just a greedy little man.
Yeah, because he's also got that legitimate business idea that is trying to get invested in
Yeah, the parking lot.
That's
yeah.
the parking lot. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, he's trying to like invest in some land for a parking lot. And he's trying to go through Wade for it, and he wants to borrow $750K to do that. And Wade's like, it's a lot of money. And this is like the very next scene. Like they're all sort of having dinner together at Jerry's house with his wife and his son Scotty. And Scotty, he takes off a little bit early. He wants to go meet his friends at Macca's.
At the Don.
Yeah,
and they're gonna don hard.
I'm gonna go to the Golden Arches and fucking
Couple of McDoubles.
Yeah. And Wade's like, oh, they're not drinking milkshakes.
They're not.
This guy's he's a little bit old
They're
fashioned.
kissing and holding hands. All right, so he's just trying to hustle two plans at once. So maybe he's just a
pretty
little
much.
greedy gremlin.
I think he is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hazy Macy.
He's a bloody snake.
And he tries to like sort of guilt trip Wade as well when he's trying to get this money. He's like, oh, Gene and Scotty, they won't, ever have to worry. It's it's a lot of money. It could be really good. And then Wade's like, they'll never have to worry. Like Wade's like, I'll take care of my daughter and my grandchild. It's like, it's you, Jerry. They gotta
yeah.
You're the weakest link here in the family connection.
Yeah. But you don't really learn about how Jerry even came to be married to his wife. You don't really learn anything about their relationship at all. In fact, we barely even see the wife.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right? Like we see her maybe 3 or 4 times. We've seen her face like twice.
It sort of feels like maybe, and this is just speculation, that maybe he got into the relationship at the sort of like prospect of money, because the dealership that he works at and he's sort of like running and managing is owned by Wade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of security or...
He's just a bloody
Yeah.
He's just a bloody mooch. He's a big leech.
Yeah, it would fit the character bill.
Yeah. And his wife, she's a sweetie.
Yeah.
She's cute.
Again, always cooking.
And yeah, always cooking. She's got a Minnesota accent. It's real thick.
Real thick shit.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
well done thick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hi, hon.
Yeah. But we're in the car now. We've got the goons are in the car. They're discussing some driving plans.
Bloody big boy. I forgot his name.
Grim?
Yeah. He's like, I want to go to a pancake house. And then Steve Buscemi's like, I don't want to fucking eat pancakes again. Let's go get I want to get a shot, or like some beer or a steak or something. And the other guy's like, pancakes.
I want pancakes.
He's real. I want pancakes. He's like, well, what about we go get laid? He's like, are you serious? I'm fucking hungry. I want pancakes. He's like, all right, we'll get pancakes, then we'll get laid.
Yeah. I guess they just don't get along from the very start.
Not really.
Yeah, either that or like that might have been like the breaking point for them, right? Maybe they were talking a little bit more before, but maybe
True.
that's sort of just like he didn't get his pancakes and now he just doesn't want to talk to Carl anymore.
Yeah. He's a real stubborn dude. Very quiet.
Yeah.
Cold.
Didn't get his
what he's
pancakes.
thinking.
Can't blame him. Can't blame him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When his belly's not full of warm pancakes.
But yeah, we
I know
cut
that
to
feeling.
cut to a next scene, and we're at the a car dealership, and Jerry's getting chewed out by a client. You sort of get the impression that the client was sort of misled and sort of haggled into a situation that wasn't the best for them, and Jerry's just trying to get like all the money he can out of him and trying to sort of spin it. There's like, oh, I'll go talk to the guy and I'll see if I can get like a discount or something. And then like, you know, he can only manage to haggle like $100 off the true coat.
I don't even think he bothered to haggle with his boss. I think
he just
tried to fucking. I think he just tried to scab a ticket off him.
Yeah.
For the hockey game.
Yeah, he's a fucking leech,
Yeah,
man.
He really
I think
is.
it's right off the bat that paints him as just someone who's desperate for money. And just a man who lacks integrity.
Yeah. But yeah, the client, he feels like he's been swindled. But, you know, he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to pay anyway. But, you know, he cusses him out in the meantime. He just wants it to be over with.
Yeah, it's like, you're a fucking liar. You lied to my face. It's like, let's just get my checkbook. Let's just get this over with.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt to try and get a fat commission.
Yeah. Then the next scene, our two thugs, they're laid up next to each other. Well, not next to each other, but in beds in the same room. 2 separate beds, both just getting it on with some ladies. And then after they finish, they just start watching The Tonight Show.
Yeah. Yeah, all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Surreal.
Crazy. And then we cut back to Jean, the mum, and Scotty, the kid. And then I wrote down here that the kid kind of looks like Danny Gonzalez.
Yep, he really does.
He really does. He looks like, imagine a young Danny Gonzalez, and that you can. That's exactly who this is. And his mum's kind of like chewing him out a little bit. She's like, "You're not a C student, you know. You know, you can do better than that." And she's like, "Yeah, right. So, you know, no hockey. No more hockey because, you know, you got to get your grades up. You can't go to this thing." And, yeah, he's like, "You can't be fucking serious." And I think, what's his name?
Jerry,
sorry. Yeah, Jerry's on the phone with, is it Wade?
Yeah, Wade calls.
Yeah, Wade calls. He's teeing up that deal with about the parking lot.
Yeah,
And,
Stan likes the proposal.
Yeah, he thinks it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he thinks it's sweet enough to try and cancel his nefarious plan, though, right? So the plan's already in action. Yeah, for his wife to get snatched up.
Yeah.
And they're on the way to go and grab her, put her in a potato sack. So this deal with Wade is supposedly good enough to have Jerry try and cancel it.
Yeah, so surprising for his character how greedy he is. Try and weasel in his way for both of them.
Both
to
at
kind of work
once.
out. Yeah. Even
Yeah,
maybe
but that deal is pretty sweet.
it is pretty sweet deal. It's yeah. What happens next?
So he's
With the mechanic.
So then he's
Yeah.
in the office with Wade, right? And he's in the office with Wade, and now Wade is swindling him.
I think that's a little bit later. We have like
yeah.
in between this, we've got I think Jerry goes to like a mechanic and he's talking to
Yeah,
Shep.
I think he goes to see Shep.
Shep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sees Shep first.
It's like, can you put me on to those 2 fellas? You know, I got to talk to them.
Yeah, that's right. To try and cancel the.
It's like,
Snatch.
I don't know. Shep just plays hardball. He just plays, I don't know. I don't know.
He just says he vouches for Grimsrud.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry's trying to like haggle his way in, but Shep's sort of like he's sort of like a harder character type of person. Like he's not taking any bullshit. Like he can't be as easily bargained with as other people can. Like his character's sort of like nah, fuck off.
Yeah.
And then we're in the car with the boys, and you know they're having some more trouble in paradise. Like Grim's smoking in the car, and Carl's just like, can you like not do that? Can you roll down the window? Which he doesn't. And Carl's just trying to make the time that they're having a little bit more pleasant. Like, you know, he's trying out some small talk. He wants to chat, and Grim's just not having any of it.
So he kind of just loses it. It's just like, It would kill you to fucking say something.
Freaking out.
Yeah. And it's like, whatever. It's like, you've said fuck all this, like, entire trip. And it's like, and then he's just like, you want to be quiet? I could be quiet too. Yep. Totally quiet. Total silence. We can sit here in total silence if that's what you want to do. We can do that. Mm-hmm. Complete silence. And then we cut back to Jerry.
Yeah, now we're in Wade's
Perfect.
office.
Now
Take
we're
it
in
away.
Wade's office, and Wade hits him with the Uno reverse, pretty much. Tries to swindle him, right? So Wade...
Actually,
Nah.
you guys are
Yeah.
jumping ahead a bit.
Again.
Yeah, we're jumping ahead again. Yeah. I
So
just
first-
noticed, yeah,
First, it's the serial numbers. So he gets a call.
yeah,
Oh,
Jerry
my
gets a
God,
call from the
yeah.
bank.
Right.
He's
right,
like, "Hey, I can't read these serial numbers. You know, you gotta send them through, or just read them to me. You know." It's like, "Yeah, serial numbers for what?" He's like, "For the 320K." He's like, "Oh, yeah, that, yeah. No, I gave you those." He's like, he's just playing. He's beating around the bush a lot. It's
Yeah.
basically, that's his conversation style. He just avoids the point, and just he deflects and bloody strawmans and this and that and fucking. He's so incredibly hard to talk to, and he finally fucks this guy off. He's like, "All right, cool, I'll fax it to you." He's like, "No fax, don't fax it." He's like, "All right, yeah, I'll send it to you." Cool. And then we cut to the wife at home, and she's just knitting and watching TV,
Being a
and
sweetie.
having a great time, just being a real sweetie.
she didn't check
She's
the
just
time though.
enjoying life.
She didn't know
She
it was
didn't
time to
check
get
the time.
kidnapped.
Should have checked her watch.
That was
Yeah.
her fatal flaw. Well, she fucked up because a couple of masked fellas arrive. Guy breaks through the window, and then as she tries to get away, big guy comes through the door, and big guy grabs her, and she bites his hand. He's like, "Unguent, I need unguent,"
Yeah,
which I
Very
guess
accurate.
is like an antiseptic or something. I guess.
yeah, probably.
And then she hides in the bathroom. She's trying to call the police, but they fucking reef the phone away from her because the line's under the door and connected to like something in the hallway, I think.
Wired phones.
Those
Yeah,
landlines.
Yeah, so she's trying to escape out the window. They're breaking down the door, and finally they break in, and she's gone. She's gone. She escapes. And the other guy, the guy who got bit, is trying to find something for his hand. And then he notices something. The wife fucking freaks out. She's behind the shower curtains this entire time. She just runs and falls down the stairs and fucking knocks herself out. I thought she died at this point. I thought she broke her neck.
Yeah, I thought that might have happened.
Yeah, I thought it was going to spiral. Like the plot was going to spiral out of control from there because
Yeah.
the wife accidentally broke her own neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen as well.
She doesn't
That
die.
she was fucking done for. But yeah, now take it away, Nicholas.
And then we're in Wade's office, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
Jerry's there to try and make a deal with Wade and Wade's right-hand man, whatever his name is.
Stan.
Dan, Wade and Dan. And Stan.
Yeah, Stan.
Yeah, Wade and Stan.
Bloody
and
Stan.
Wade and Stan kind of pull a fast one on Jerry by accepting the proposed deal, but only offering Jerry a finder's fee, which was like 10% or something, for discovering the potential investment instead of investing or giving the money to Jerry to invest.
Well, I think they were going to let Jerry decide how much the finder's fee would be. And that sort of puts the ball in their court as well, because I think they know that Jerry hasn't sort of thought that through.
Thought about it, yeah.
Because that's not what he was sort of intending.
Yeah, and at this stage you kind of get a really strong idea that Wade just thinks poorly of Jerry. I think Wade can see through kind of a lot of Jerry's shenanigans, and you get the idea that Wade doesn't like Jerry much at all, and probably thinks like almost everything that Wade says to Jerry is belittling or demeaning
Yeah.
in some kind
Which-
of way.
Makes sense. I don't like Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry's a fucking
Yeah, I see-
snake.
Jerry's a
I see why
piece
Wade
of
doesn't like Jerry
shit.
Dog. And also, I thought you were going to say that you can see at this point that Jerry doesn't really think things through, which is, he definitely doesn't.
Which is a good
No.
point, because he's desperate for money, right? So
Yeah.
people who are desperate, I suppose, start doing some real crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
for
kind of
sure.
where Jerry's at mentally, I suppose. I mean, at this stage, we've already seen Jerry's wife get kidnapped. So as the audience, we've already seen the results of Jerry's desperation to try and get
Yeah.
out of whatever pickle he's in.
I think he's like it's too much brain because he's spinning so many plates. That's taking up like all of his brain space. He can't really look ahead, right? He can only think laterally because he's trying to do too many things at the same time. Like there's not enough time for planning. He's only putting
Yeah.
out fires.
Yeah, that's right. It seems everything he does is reactive rather than proactive.
Yeah.
And it just makes him stink. Makes him stink of stinky desperation.
Yeah.
He fucking smells.
Smelly. You know he smells.
You know what else smells?
Do you keep these in?
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
That's nuts. That's like the third time.
I don't know where he gets it from.
Just ripping it.
I don't understand.
I
I'm
don't understand it
desensitized.
myself.
It's just
I genuinely don't understand it myself.
that's crazy, man.
Alright. Can you give me 2 seconds? I'm
gotta
boiling. I'm
shit,
just gonna
huh?
put a pair of shorts on. I'm just gonna
He's
put a
gotta
pair
go
of shorts
dump
on.
hard.
I gotta put a clean
Yeah,
pair
no.
of shorts on.
I fucking shit myself.
Fucking
It's everywhere.
shitting yourself, mate.
I've had
Listen.
people have come up to me and say, "Does he like prepare the farts ahead of time before it?" When you start the episode, I'm like, no,
There's no
dude,
way.
that's just him. That's just what he's like.
Listen, man, when he's having eggs, bacon, and chocolate pancakes for dinner.
Dude, I guess this is like not a good impression to give people. That I'm just like
At least
stinky and I
at least
fart
it's
all the
truthful.
time.
Yeah, you gotta
Dude,
be
everybody
true.
farts.
You
I
know,
do
it's
be
a
farting.
real representation, and that's what's important.
It's true. I think it's just raw.
It's just raw, real.
It's just raw and real.
Just raw
People love that
anus.
shit.
That's raw storytelling.
All right, go change
People
your
love
fucking
that
shorts.
shit. Alright, give me 2
Get
seconds.
out of here.
I'm wearing pants. I'm not wearing shorts.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that he doesn't actually have to change his shorts. We just willed it into existence.
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so they basically like, look, if you're not interested in this deal, then I hope you don't mind if we just move on with it, independently. And Jerry's
Well,
just
they,
kind of
they say, we hope you don't mind, but we're going to.
yeah, they're just gonna do it anyway. They're just kind of stealing his idea.
Yeah.
So that means Jerry
But, you
didn't
know-
even get the finder's fee at the end of the day?
No, he should have just taken the finder's fee.
Yeah, I guess we surmise that he probably did, right?
I think he did.
I think at that stage he's like, fuck it, fine, I'll take the money.
Yeah, he's pretty
I
angry
think
about it though.
they were pretty much just threatening him.
Yeah, that's business.
That's
Yeah.
business, baby. It's cold.
Old like the ice on Jerry's windscreen,
Yep.
which he is fucking scraping off
Great transition.
angrily.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Stan says, we're not in the bank. We're not a bank. We're not
Yeah,
in the bank business. We're not a bank a lot. And I just wanted to point
Yeah.
out, I thought that was very funny.
we're
He said
not
it
a
a
bank,
lot.
dude. We're not a bank.
Yeah.
He did say it a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think this is, Jer? We're not a
We're
bank.
not a bank.
I wish just once someone called him Jer. Jer Bear.
Jer. Come on, Jer. We're not a
Jer.
bank, Jer.
Wait, he scrapes the ice off the window, and then what happens?
He fucking loses the plot.
He loses his shit.
He loses his shit.
In that moment, I thought of man falls for 9 seconds. Dude is slipping in the snow for 9 seconds. That's the video I thought of when he starts
That's the best.
Great video.
I love that video.
That's such a classic. Oh, man. And then, yeah, he fucking angrily loses his shit and then continues to scrape ice off his windshield. And then kind of pans out, and then he gets home. He's like, "Hun, I got the groceries." And she's not responding, and he can't find her anywhere. So he's checking the house, and yeah, she's gone. And then the next thing we hear, Jerry sounds distraught. He sounds like he's talking to Wade on the phone, but he's actually just practicing what he's going to say to Wayne and how he's going to say it. You almost get this sense that he's like come to his senses and he realizes what he's done. It's like he's fucked up real bad and he doesn't know what to do. He's obviously going to lie about it, but yeah. That's what I interpreted from this anyway.
Yeah, but no, you just find out he's a complete fucking sociopath and he's just pretending to be upset about it.
Yeah, and he calls super calmly. He's like, "Yeah, can you put me on a stand?" Or Wade or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, Wade.
What I thought was interesting about that was he still looked shocked, right? When he came through the door, he still looked kind of shocked that it happened, like his plan happened, or the kidnappers like actually held up their end of the deal, or that it maybe happened earlier than he thought it was going to happen, or something, because he was still kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah, I think he was like...
unprepared, maybe.
Well, I think he was mostly just looking at everything and piecing together everything that happened like in his head, because he sort of goes around and he inspects all the different areas where things happened, and I sort of thought that, you know, as he was sort of looking around and looking at all the things that was all fucked up, that he was sort of making the story and putting the pieces together in his head about what actually happened and how it all went down.
Yeah, always, like, I thought maybe he was even so sociopathic that he was shocked at how much damage was done to his house.
Yeah, it's like, these fucking guys,
Like, these
fucked
fucking
up my
guys
house.
fucked up my
Cost
mirror.
me a fucking fortune.
Like, everything's so money focused at this point.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That I thought he was just kind of like, man, they fucked up my shelves or whatever.
Yeah. Totally unconcerned with Jean, which, you know, definitely makes sense with his character. He's leaving her well-being in the hands of two strangers, and not even just strangers, criminals.
Yeah, like murderers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that yet.
That's true. And so
That hasn't happened yet?
In the next scene,
What?
in the next scene, we see that our two fellas are still
true.
in. They're still together. They got the girl, and they're in Brainerd. And at this point, I thought she was dead, but she's still alive, and she's making noise. And the quiet guy goes, "Shut up, or I'll fucking put a bullet in you," or something like that. I can't remember. And then, the fucking 5-0, they're pulling him up because Carl didn't put any...
Carl Buscemi.
Carl Buscemi. He didn't put the bloody temp tags on the car. He didn't put the temporary tags on the car. He's like, fuck, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. And he's like, you know, lady back there, you better keep it real quiet and still, or I'm gonna have to shoot you. Or we're going to have to shoot you. And then old mate, he kind of gives Carl a dirty look. He's like, "Hey, don't worry, I'll take care of this."
Yeah.
So he pulls over, and the cop walks over slowly. You know how they do. Just winding down the window. Officer's sussing him out and goes, "How can I help you, officer?" "This a new car?" "Yes, sir." It's like, "You need to put up some temp tags." He's like, "Yeah, I realized that. It just must have slipped my mind, you know." So, yeah. He's like, "License and registration, please." He's like, yeah, no worries. He's very, very cool, calm, collected, like he's done absolutely nothing wrong. He's like, "Yeah, it must have slipped my mind, but, you know, let's just take care of this right now." He shows him his license and registration and the $50 bill poking out of his wallet. So he's trying to bribe the cop, right?
Yeah.
And the cop's like, what's this? He's like, it's my license and registration. Let's just take care of this right now. And the cop goes, get out of the car, please. And then old mate just leans over.
Yeah,
but he pulls the cop in and just puts one in his fucking dome.
Yeah, because
just point blank.
Gene makes like a whimpering noise, and the officer sort of like leans in, to investigate. But yeah, just fucking shoots him right in the top of the dome.
Yeah.
And Carl says, "Whoa, daddy."
Whoa, daddy.
He says it like 5 times.
Yeah, you get the sense that this other guy is way more hardcore than Carl.
Yeah.
Like, he's done some crazy shit because he's just so cold and like, I'm not sure if calculated is the right word, but he's
just very
he's
matter
quick on
of
his
fact.
feet.
Yeah.
He's very matter of fact, quick on his feet. And black and white, I guess. He doesn't show any mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
Maybe there's sort of like a similar sort of like banality to what he does, like with Marge. We haven't got to Marge yet, but Marge has like a similar, not like cold and sort of like calculated like Grimm is, but it is like it feels more like a day-to-day thing.
It's just everyday life.
Yeah.
She's so nice, but she's that's an interesting parallel to draw.
Yeah,
Definitely some similarities there.
Yeah,
but Marge is very chatty and
trusting.
Yeah,
I think she probably uses that to her advantage, though.
Yeah, for sure.
And you got the feeling that, like, I thought that the two baddies, what's his name, Grimsrud?
Yeah.
Grimmy.
Grimmy Wimmy?
That Grimm and Carl Buscemi were going to be like a good cop, bad cop kind of thing, right? So I thought there was like, that was their whole shtick. Until it's kind of revealed that they fucking hate each other. And maybe don't even know each other.
Yeah, it seems like they don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have just got pulled in on this job.
Yeah, because I think...
Carl, at least. I think Shep knows Grimm, right?
Yeah, and I think that Gaear was only supposed to meet one of them. So both
it was only...
Yeah.
If it was through what's his face from
Shep.
the mechanic. Yeah, Shep. It was only supposed to be with Grimsrud. Because he says, I can only vouch for Grimsrud. I don't know about
Yeah, that's right. And that's why he thinks that, Shep, that's why Shep thinks that Carl sold him out or whatever. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get the sense that Carl is he's still, like, calm, I guess. He's still, taking it as it comes, but he's, like, was not prepared for things to go this way. It's like, Grimm's just like, just clear him off the road, get rid of him. He's like, yeah. So he starts grabbing him and pulling him off the road, and another car's coming, and it's a bit too late to do anything. They're driving by, and they just make eye contact, and Grimm just fucking hops in the driver's seat and chases him down. And, he loses sight of them. Things go wrong for them, and they come straight off the road, and they flip. The guy gets out and he tries to run. He gets fucking gunned down. And he goes to the car and he kills this girl too. And he's just very cold and Remember Nick making the scene? Was like,
brutal scene.
Damn, that's cold.
It was cold, man.
That was cold.
That was a brutal scene.
Yeah,
every time he popped someone, Nick was like, damn, that's cold.
Boy, was that
I
right.
thought Peter Stormare did so well.
Like
in this. Like, I haven't really seen him with that much sort of like acting chops before. Like, he's good in what he does, but he also gets like typecasted in a lot of like Russian gangster, like in between man sort of roles. I feel like I've seen him in that a lot. But in this one, I felt like he did a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of like more or less one of the main characters or main side characters. Even though he didn't, like, no one really does a lot. You know what I mean? Like, no one is really is stealing the scene or stealing the show or like over dramatic or kind of like acting their little asses off. Everything's kind of quite subdued. Unless it's like, someone flying off the fucking handles.
Yeah. Which I think Steve Buscemi did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he, like, already, just looking at him, you know he's the kind of guy
Looks
that
like
would...
a lunatic.
Yeah, just go spastic.
What do you mean he was weird looking? I don't know. He just like...
Yeah.
He just looked a little bit
Little
weird.
guy.
In
Little guy,
universe,
kinda
just
weird looking.
acknowledge that he's a weird-looking dude.
So next scene, we're in a house and we've got a close up of a canvas, and on this canvas is like a flying like duck or goose, but I'm pretty sure it's a duck.
I think it's a mallard.
Yeah, which is
It's a duck.
which is a type of duck. And we have like a slow pan through the room, and you know there's a lot of ducks. Like there's like little sort of like, I guess, like wooden figures of ducks. Like this house.
I thought they were taxidermies.
Yeah, maybe, but they like duck. They're really into duck in this household, and pans over to a bed, and there's a couple that are like sleeping in the bed, and they get like a very early morning call, and it's Marge, and she's like, oh jeez, oh jeez, okay.
Oh, jeez.
They're in a jiff, like very very like, oh, that sucks, okay, I'll be there soon. Because you know she's getting cold to the homicide, and Norm's like, oh, I'll fix you some eggs. She's like, nah, don't worry about it. And he's like, nah, you gotta eat. I'll fix you some eggs. And you know,
No, you can sleep. It's all right. You gotta eat. I'll
but it
fix
makes
you
sense.
some eggs.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Marge is pregnant, so you know he's just being nice. He just wants to help out.
He's a sweetie.
A little bit. So yeah, so they have breakfast together very early morning, and then she takes off to get to work. And then we're at the crime scene, and she shows up, and she's very like nice, sort of chatty, like, oh, hiya Lou, what's going on? And he's like giving the rundown, and she's like, oh geez, yeah, that sucks. And they're sort of just like chatting away, and it is just very sort of casual, just like, you know, day job, like this is just how it is. Like she's just trying to get to the facts and wants to know what's going on, and you know she draws a lot of very good conclusions. Like she's like, oh yeah, this one in the flipped car has been shot in the head, and looks like there's a gun wound in the hand as well, so you know must be a defensive wound. And then she's like she doubles over for a little bit, and she's like feeling nauseous, and the other guy's like, oh, are you all right?
You
She's
okay,
like-
Marge? You okay, Margie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
just a bit of morning sickness.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gone now. All good. She's like,
Yeah.
now I'm hungry. I could eat some food or whatever she says.
Yeah,
And, yeah,
it's a
she's-
good misdirection.
Yeah.
Because you think she's going to keel over because of the graphic nature of the crime.
Yeah.
But really, she's just hungry.
She's just hungry and pregnant.
Yeah. She's a bloody wicked detective.
Yeah.
She bloody nails it.
Yeah, right off the bat, you're like, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
You know, she's clearly very smart, very switched on.
Yeah. Not too serious. No, like, gritty sort of, like, stereotype either. Like, no, like, those sons of bitches. Just like,
Oh yeah.
like,
oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Must be
oh
this.
no.
And then they're in the car leaving the scene later. They're having a little bit of a chat, her and Lou. And Lou comes to some conclusions about like a car or something like that.
Yeah, because there's a notepad that the state trooper wrote on, the one that got shot. And
yeah.
he had written like DLR or something.
Yeah.
Right, and they were running plates that started with that and couldn't find anything until Marge was like, it means dealership or something. She's probably talking about. Yeah.
It's a dealer plate.
Dealer plates.
And she sort of like very politely disagrees with Lou's like conclusion of everything there, because she's like, no, those are dealer plates. Like, DLR, that means dealer, and it just proves the point. She's just a fucking genius. She's
just a fucking whiz.
Yeah.
And what's his face is just like, oh jeez.
Yeah, Lou. He's like, Yeah, because she says something like, I disagree with your police work.
Yeah.
In a very, very kind of professional way.
Yeah.
Which just kind of further cements her kind of detective.
Very amicable.
Yeah. And her detective skills as well to try and deduce what's happened. And it's interesting, like, at this stage in the movie, did you guys kind of think, like, did you link that back to Jerry and Jerry's dealership?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I didn't.
As soon as she said dealer, I'm like, oh, yeah, bloody Jerry.
Yeah, I didn't pick it.
Maybe?
Like,
Maybe I did.
I don't think I picked it straight away. But as the movie went on, like, my brain was putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, because again, it's not like there's nothing
spelled
left
out for you.
Yeah, it's not spelled out for you, but there's also nothing left to interpretation. In such a tight movie like this, you're like, it has to be that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, tie it straight back to Jay, because just remember him in the car that he gave the two guys, part of the deal, along with their payment, gave him a car. How much he's being hassled for the serial numbers, and apparently she obviously interviews him later. We won't get into that, but
yeah. And I think they sort of reinforce this in the movie as well, because right after this scene they cut to a diner and it's Jerry talking to Wade and Stan about the ransom. So there is like a little bit of connecting tissue there to sort of hint towards like, oh yeah, like there's a connection here with this person. Like, you were just thinking about this, now think about this.
Yeah.
Really, Jerry's no worse than the fucking guys that he's getting to do his work for him. He's just a bit of a coward.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
especially towards the end.
Yeah. And he's talking to Wade and stuff. He's like, Wade's like, 1 million is a lot of money. Bloody, I'm gonna call it professional. It's like, no, this is my wife and this is my deal, which is like a really weird way to put it. It's like he's almost bitter about how sour his deal went with Wade beforehand. Like he's vying for any control he can get in this situation.
Yeah.
The things are way out of his hands and he's not really doing anything. He's like the puppet master pulling the strings, but he's losing control.
Yeah. And, he also just doesn't want to get the cops involved, so he has to be super insistent. Yeah.
Stan agrees with him. He's like, yeah, we got no cards against this guy. Mm-hmm. It's like, and then Wade's trying to barter. He's like, this is what about $500,000? We won't offer the full thing. And obviously, I keep forgetting his name.
Stan?
No.
Jerry?
Jerry's like, no way, dude. Obviously, because that's his money as well.
Yeah.
It's like the next step. Stan's like, what's the next step? He's like, they'll call me and organize a drop, and they're like, okay, let's collect the money together. It's like, nah, just me. You guys can't come. They'll be watching. They said, this and that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody It's like, even if it's a bunch of hullabaloo, yeah, you never know. Better to play it safe. And then Stan asks about Scotty, and then fucking
right.
this guy for the first time thinks about his son. He's so focused on his money.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah.
He's like, oh shit, my son. Yeah, I'll go talk to him. He goes, oh yeah, jeez.
I've doctored his mother's kidnapping.
Yeah.
Better check in on him.
Yeah.
So that's the next thing. He goes, how you going, Scotty? He's like, well, what are those guys going to do with Mum? And it's like, they won't hurt her. We just got to play ball. We'll figure it out. You know, we just got to play ball. You know, no cops, and don't tell anyone about this.
Lie to your family.
Lie to your family. Say she's just, you know, she's gone this place with this person. So she's Pearl and Marty, I think it was.
Yeah, Scotty's got such a shit end of the stick.
Yeah.
He gets
Like, by the end of the
hockey.
movie.
Banned from hockey.
That's what he's most cut
Which is
about.
still enforced even after the mum gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
You know, his mums get kidnapped. He can't play hockey. Can't hang out with his mates at McDonald's. You know.
Oh, man.
Scotty
also, he wants to involve the cops as well, right? Like,
yeah,
It's like, I
a few
think we should
times he
just call
says
the
we should call
cops.
the cops. Like, let's
Yeah,
get the
and-
cops involved.
yeah, and Jerry's like, nah, we're not going to get the cops involved. And then he mentions Stan, and that Stan says, he agrees that we shouldn't get the cops involved. And he conveniently doesn't mention what Wade thinks about the situation, which is to
Call the cops.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's just, manipulating his son, leaving information out to just haggle his way through this interaction as well.
Yeah. And it's
Just omitting certain details.
And it's interesting that, like, this is in contrast where we've already seen Norm and Margie, kind of have their relationship framed in a very wholesome, respectful way, where, Norm is pretty much like the doting husband on his like 6 or 7 month pregnant wife. And, he doesn't get in her way. He's only there like to support her and things like that. He doesn't barge in on her work life or anything like that. And that's in contrast to, Jerry, who's essentially just bargained his wife for, a bunch of money and is lying to his son.
It's such a piece of shit.
Just a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you cut to the two fellas, just doing their thing, their thug thing. They get Jean out of the car, and she tries to run, and she just keeps falling over. And Carl is just laughing at her. He goes, "Oops!" And he's just laughing his ass off.
Yeah, because she's got she's like tied up behind her back, and she's got like a mask on, like a backwards balaclava or something like that. So she just can't see, but she's just running for her life.
God, he kind of just shows you how awful these guys are.
Yeah.
And this scene goes on for so long as well. It's almost painful. You're just watching this woman stumble around trying to get to somewhere safe.
Yeah.
She's just completely helpless. And they're laughing about it. Well, Carl's laughing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just kind of highlights again just the mania of Carl. Give me that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, of Carl. And
Steve.
the steadfast nature of the other guy, which has already been like very apparent through the whole movie, where Carl Buscemi is like smashing glass and breaking down doors and windows and stuff to get into the house to kidnap the wife, but the other guy's like very steady and opens the door and is like kind of playing the whole thing like a hunt. Like, like he's trying to catch a mouse or something like that. Whereas, Carl Buscemi's gone
fucking psycho.
Psycho bitch all over this place. Just, trying to get the job done or whatever. So, it's like a very good way of just showing us the difference between these two baddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we next up we're at the police station. And I believe that Marge is just like arriving, and she's going to her desk, and Norm's already at the desk, and he's just kind of chilling out. I think he's eating some food or whatever.
Yeah, he's brought lunch.
Yeah.
Love you, Nom.
And Marge has got like a little surprise, I guess, for him. She gives him some worms, some night crawlers, I think they called them.
Yeah.
I guess right.
Yeah, I guess he's into worms.
Oh, Nom.
Yeah, classic Norm. And then Norm has a conversation with Lou because Lou walks in the room, but he doesn't look at him. He kind of just like he's staring into like the corner of the room, and Lou's like completely behind him. He's just not looking at him while he's talking to him.
Like not looking at Norm, or not looking at...
Norm's not looking at Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that as well.
Did you get the feeling that Norm maybe is like a little jealous, or maybe slightly insecure?
I think...
Yeah, I don't know.
I got the feeling that it was Norm kind of... I don't know. It, like I kind of saw it as a respect thing for Marge. Like I think Norm... Because Marge is quite high ranked, right? Isn't she like a...
Chief,
right? So Norm... Or Lou, sorry. Lou would be Margie's subordinate, or...
Yeah.
Lou would be...
I think so.
Would directly report to Marge, so maybe maybe Norm is kind of stepping out of the way, or
maybe
trying to like not involve himself too much out of respect for Margie and her higher status, maybe.
Yeah, I do think he trusts Marge, but it comes up in a later scene, so I'll talk about it when we get to that, but
yeah,
it does feel a little there's definitely trust. He doesn't make a fuss, but it does look like he's a little maybe unsure.
He's got his wormies.
Yeah,
he's got his worms.
Got his worms.
Good night, Qualler.
So Lou, he says that he's got a lead on some people that saw the car and the men at the bar with some company, and they're like, oh, interesting. So bloody Margie, she goes to investigate, and she's talking to these ladies, and she's having a bit of a tough time talking to these ladies because they kind of just go on like random tangents, and she's like, yep, cool, let's get back to talking about the thing that I want to talk about. And these are the ladies that like had sex with them, right?
Yeah, in the hotel, in the shared hotel room.
Yeah, and they mentioned that the guy said they were going to the Twin Cities. And that's basically all I gathered from that scene. I didn't pay too much more attention to that unless I'm missing something.
And only that they said he was a little fellow and he was funny looking, and the older guy smoked a lot of Marlboros.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
they're like, I hope that's useful, and they're like, oh yeah, betcha.
And that's before the phone records come in, right? She gets a copy of a telephone record of Jerry calling Shep.
I actually missed this bit.
I'm not. Is it here?
Because she manages to track them to Twin Cities.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me read a little bit. No, I think that's in a little bit. That's in a little bit. That's right after this next two scenes. So we cut to Carl, and he's trying to get the TV to work, and Jean's tied up in a chair with a face mask on.
Yeah.
And the other guy, Grim, is just doing a fucking 1,000-yard stare
yeah.
into the TV. Stare. Yeah, and, Carl's going apeshit trying to get the TV to work. You get this cool scene transition where it zooms in on the TV and it, like, he's banging on it and then it starts working. And it's the documentary that Marge is watching as it pans out, and we're with Marge and Norm.
They're watching Late Night Bugs.
Cool.
Yeah, watching Late Night Bugs. And she's like, I'm turning in, Norm. He's like, because he was asleep.
Where's my worms?
Where's my worms?
I'll fix you some eggs.
And then I think they go to bed, but Marge gets another call a bit later. She's like, yeah, this is Marge. She's like, yeah, who's this? Mikey and Gaear. Well, yeah. It's like, I saw you on the TV there.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, yeah. I love this scene because she just goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, heck.
Well,
Yeah. I think Mike mentioned something like he's up in Twin City as well.
Yeah. And he had seen her on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, talking about the case.
Yeah, I saw you on the TV there, yeah.
Yeah. And to us, the audience, it's a real weird call. We react we react the same way Margie does.
Yeah, like
who's this bloody guy?
Like,
why are you calling so late?
Yeah, and it's like so casual. And I thought maybe they were calling, like he was calling from a different coast, or Twin Cities was on the other, somewhere, like on the other side of the country or something, and maybe that's why, but they never brought it up or really spoke about the distance between where they were and where Twin Cities is. So I guess it was just him calling at a weird hour.
Yeah.
Which I guess in a later scene really really lines up with what he does.
Yeah. And then I think we're onto the scene that you were talking about, Nick, where he gets a call. Jerry gets a call. He's on the phone with someone. He's trying. No. He's not on the phone yet.
He's trying to sell a car. Yep.
Yeah, he's trying to sell a car.
Upsell this guy.
And he's trying to upsell the paint again to this guy, and the guy's like, I don't want it. And then he goes back to his office.
Yeah, because he's got a call coming in.
He's got a call coming in from
Carl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
From Carl. Carl's like, circumstances have changed.
Oh, he's demanding more money.
Yeah.
I'm literally just going off memory here, guys. I
didn't
take any notes.
Yeah, so he's like explains that, you know, people are dead and you know, we need some more money. And he's like, fucking no, I don't want to. Blah blah.
Yeah.
You better fucking do it. I'm gonna shoot you and I'm gonna shoot your family. I'll fuck you up. Do it.
Yeah.
And like he's like,
doesn't really have a
whatever.
choice. This guy gave his wife away.
Yeah. So like he hangs up that call, and then this phone call like immediately goes off again, and it's this Riley guy. He's you know, he's after the serial numbers again. He's like, you know, my patience is at its end, and you know, if this isn't resolved like very soon, then I'm getting in touch with legal.
Yeah, and because he's got to give the money back.
Yeah. He's got two giant things on his mind that both need to be dealt with by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then we're at a buffet. Buddy, Norm and
Yes,
Margie are having a bite to eat.
Looked like a golden corral or something like that. Looked squishy. The food looked squishy.
Yeah.
A lot of squishy food.
Yeah.
Bloody love a squishy meal.
But just another shot of this like warm and loving relationship between Norm and Margie. They clearly
Yeah.
live a very low-key, casual life together. I mean, it's never even explicitly said that, you know, she's pregnant. Like, obviously we know she's pregnant. But maybe, I think they only even talk about the baby once or twice. It's just like them living their life together and sharing meals together while all this other crazy shit is happening in the background.
Just enjoying each other's time while they can.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's just always fueling up. Rise and grind.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Is it Lou that walks in?
Yes,
Or is it
because then
someone
Lou
else?
walks in with the telephone record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got some numbers.
He's
for
got the
Margie.
numbers because now that's how she gets the lead for Jerry,
Shep.
right?
For Shep Proudfoot.
For Shep?
And she's like, yeah, I'll take a drive down there then.
Oh yeah, you're right. Shep in Twin Cities. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then this is what I meant before, but like maybe Norm's a little unsure. Maybe he heard her on the phone with Mike. He's like, you will? Yeah. Maybe Norm's a little sus. I don't know. I kind of picked up a little vibe there, but I could be reading into it a bit much.
Yeah, or Norm is scared because she's she's 7 months pregnant and she's traveling to another city alone to chase a lead
For a triple homicide.
And going to talk to someone who, I mean, they may have discussed that Shep has a record, so maybe what you saw as like uncertainty, Alex, was more of Norm showing concern through body language.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
interesting.
sure.
Yeah, not an angle that I really considered.
Very interesting.
But we're back at home. We're at Jerry's residence, and Wade, he's had enough. He's taken over.
He wants in on this.
Wade's the
doesn't wanna
boss.
deal-
He's the
Yeah.
boss.
He's like, Jerry's just gonna fuck it up. I'm taking over. And Stan,
Yeah, it's
he
my
agrees. Yeah.
Stan the yes man.
money. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, this is just the best way. Yeah, this is what we think this is good. And Jerry's not happy.
Yeah, Jerry's lost total control of the situation.
Yep.
Yeah. And then
lost all
I
of
think,
But
Yeah, and then-
now we're at a hotel.
Yeah, Margie's up in the Twin Cities.
Checking in. There's
I
5
don't-
people at the reception.
Yeah.
Just absolutely just eyes on her.
Yeah. I don't have any notes here. I missed all of this scene.
So did I.
Well,
Nick, do you have any recollection?
Well, I guess it gives the illusion that Twin Cities is a quiet place, was my thoughts, that there was literally no one else at the lobby that needed serving except for Margie to check into the hotel. And then I think it cuts to the drink.
To Steve.
To
And
Carl.
Carl does a bloody perfect parking in the top of a parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's
that's when he's circling around.
He's opening up the boot of a car, which is maybe his
His
original
stash
car?
or something.
Stash, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
He swaps the plates.
Yeah.
Put some plates on.
And then,
And
he
then he
decided,
chose to leave.
Yeah, he decided he's not going to park here anymore.
Yeah. This old guy's hassling him for $4 because that's just, protocol.
Which, you know,
And he
fair
just
enough.
gives this guy, this guy a fucking earful. It's like, you're a fucking piece of shit. You think you're real high and mighty. You fucking authority figure in your little fucking booth, don't you? Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. Take your $4, you bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly highlighting, again, just Carl's sociopathic nature. I mean, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
bucks for a change of mind's pretty rough. But
Yeah,
he's
but-
absolutely going off. And he's about to
mean,
make
in
80
his-
grand, right, in his head.
Yeah. And, he's in a situation where he shouldn't be making waves either. He's like, he should be having a low profile.
Yeah.
And even if he...
Good point.
doesn't want to do something like that, he should just do it and blend in with everyone else. But
yeah, I think it also is kind of a reflection of his mental state at the time. Like, he's getting quite fed up at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the story's progressing them in, like, both Jerry and Carl in a very similar way, where they're both kind of at their wits' end with the whole situation. They just kind of both want to be done with it, while the other dude's just fucking hanging out eating TV dinners and stuff.
Yeah. So Jerry, he goes to the mechanic. He wants to go visit Shep, but Shep's busy.
Yeah.
Just go on walkabouts. A bit of convergence in the story.
Yeah.
Marge is interrogating Shep.
She's working at magic.
And she threatened Shep with the most kindness I've ever seen. She basically threatens to send him back to jail for
breach of parole,
accomplice to a murder. Yeah. It's like, you wouldn't want that, would you? And I don't think he ratted. So, because that's a plot point in a bit later.
Mm-hmm.
And then Margie bloody comes to interrogate Jerry. She does. And his nervousness is palpable.
Yeah.
He's sweating.
He's sweating.
He is shameless levels of sweating.
Yeah. He's just acting a bloody fool. Like, he cannot sit still. He's, like, rocking back and forth in his chair. And she's trying to get to the bottom of this. She's like, there's been some malfeasance in this area.
Great word.
But word for word. Malfeasance, great word. Haven't heard that word in a long time. I thought the exact same thing. I was like,
malfeasance.
I heard you say that, so I made sure to write it down.
I like that.
And it's just like, you had any stolen vehicles in this area? And you kind of... Jerry's like just fumbling over his words, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm the executive sales rep. I think I would know.
Yeah, no tan Sierras missing.
Nah.
Yeah, and that's what, at that point, you know, is freaking out.
Yeah, he's in way over his head.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is where he calls Shep, and he can't get a hold of him. I think Shep is bloody skipping town to go find
after
Carl.
Margie leaves, he calls Shep straight away, and we learn that Shep's
not
skipped town already. But for me at this stage is when Jerry's character really flipped, because he's lost control of pretty much everything that is planned. So his only move to get out of this situation was to act a fool, like you said, and just run away. Yeah. He just gets in his car and fucking leaves. So at this point, his whole character...
Not yet.
Oh, not yet? Okay, so at this point, though... isn't that when he says he's going to count the inventory?
Not yet.
No, that's towards the end.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
That's coming up quite soon.
All these scenes are merging.
Yeah. Next up, we got the bar. It's the meeting with Mike, Margie. And Mike. And initially, we love Mike.
Yeah.
We thought he was sweet.
You thought it was a bit weird to called out of the blue, but, you know, he seems like a chill dude.
Yeah. But then Mike gets a little too close.
Yeah, he gets a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
He's like, Margie starts asking him about his life. He's like, you know, you got any kids? Are you married? He's like, yeah. Oh, wait, let me come sit over there with you. And he like kind of sits right next to her. And,
has the
puts
arm
his
over
arm
him.
Behind her.
Yeah.
And he's like,
and he knows, you know, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And she's married because like, and he also like name dropped the husband as well, like son of a Gunderson or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah, she's like, "I prefer you to sit over there."
Yeah.
She's so nice about it. He's like, "Oh, oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I was just like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I just didn't want to be turning my neck towards you. That's all.
Yeah.
She plays it off.
So sweet.
And then, they start talking about him and what's going on. He's like, oh, yeah, I was married. I'm, not married anymore. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay. And they get to talking a little bit more. And he's like, yeah, Linda, we didn't get divorced. Like, she had leukemia and she died. And she's like, oh, fuck, I'm so sorry. That sucks.
Yeah, that's
Sorry
balls.
to hear that. And
I love this part.
right when like he sort of says that, there was like music playing in the background. But as he says that, like the music stops and just to sort of like hammer home like how sad that's supposed to be. And I thought that was very cool.
Well, that wasn't my favorite part, but that wasn't the part I liked so much. It was when he goes, I like you so much. And she goes, I like you so much. And he cuts over, he goes, I like you so much.
Margie,
and he's like,
you're a passionate man.
And Marge is like, yeah, you want to get together another time? He's like, oh no, I shouldn't have done this. You're such a super lady. And then he starts crying. And then he starts crying.
Yeah, then he starts freaking
very
out.
lonely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're at a bloody music show.
Oh, yeah.
Ew. And Carl is on a date. Some lady.
With another
Some lady.
hooker.
Yeah, another escort.
An escort.
Yeah. And then they're hanging out and they're talking and then they're just like, let's get out of here. And they go back to the motel or hotel or whatever it is. And
It's like a basement, to be honest.
Shit.
and they're getting it on. He's getting straight to it. And she is just, she's phoning it in.
She's so casual with it. Like, you can tell this is her job. She's like, all right.
She's hating it.
Come on. I'm hearing bells. There you go.
And then fucking all of a sudden, this lady just gets like yanked off of him and he's like, what the fuck? I was having a great time. And it's our boy Shep.
Sheppy.
And he just absolutely kicks the shit out of Carl. Just fucks him up.
It's so funny because he like launches this naked guy across the room.
We got some
Shep,
crack on screen.
Shep is actually huge, by the way. Like, he's built like a fucking brick shit house.
Like a mechanic.
Yeah. And like,
he's like throwing Carl around.
Yeah. And the neighbors, they get upset. They come knock at the door. They're like, hey, stop fucking around. You're being too noisy. And Shep opens the door and he kicks the shit out of this neighbor as well. And then the
escort tries to run away.
Yeah. He kicks the escort.
Boots the escort as well.
He like chases her down and kicks her in the back.
Yeah. And makes his way back into the apartment. Goes to Carl and fucking chokes him out with his own belt for a little while. Lifts him up off of the ground. And then lets him go. Yeah. And then fucking just proceeds to slap the shit out of him with his belt.
Yeah. Fucking like whipping him with it.
Yeah.
And fucking Carl has had enough. Because in the next scene, what's he doing?
He's threatening Jerry.
He's back on the line with Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah, he calls him. He threatens him. He's upset. I actually really like this transition because we don't leave the hotel. The perspective just stays on Carl. He calls Jerry, and he's cussing Jerry out, like saying, we've got to get this fucking done now. I'm tired of it. I'm going to shoot you and your family, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then after he hangs up the phone, the perspective is with Jerry. Like, we carry on the rest of the scene with Jerry. Like, there's no, like, explicit, like, cut that's like a change of scenery.
Yeah, there's no, like, fade out or anything like that. It just keeps going.
Clean.
Yeah, nicely sort of
Compact.
transitions. Yeah. And this is when Wade has had enough.
Yeah, because
That's
Wade's listening in. Wade's listening in on the other phone.
Yeah. And he's taking control now. He's going to the meet. You know, this is Wade's game. He wants it over and done with. He wants his daughter back.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the strap too. He's got the fucking blicky with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought this was interesting as well because there's a bit of a parallel because Wade's in the car, right, with his gun, ready to settle it, and he's reciting his lines for what he's going to say as well. I thought that was an interesting parallel from Jerry reciting his lines to what he's going to say to Wade about the whole thing. Then Wade's
like
reciting his lines on how he's going to resolve it.
It's almost like a trickle down butterfly effect.
Yeah, thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. So we end up at the meet, and Carl's already there. Wade shows up, and Carl's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's like, I want my daughter back. Like, I've got the money. I want my fucking daughter back." And Carl's like, "Fucking what?" And he just fucking shoots Wade.
Yeah. Bang.
Wade's reaction to getting shot is so funny. He goes, "Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez."
Yeah. And Wade's like, "Okay." Gets his fucking gun out and he shoots back at Carl, and it like grazes the side of his head, like all up his cheek. Yeah. Carl does not like this.
Screaming.
It's not.
Yeah. Carl will remember this.
Carl will remember this, and he actually does remember this about 0.5 seconds later when he puts 3 rounds in Wade's skull.
Unloads
Yeah.
into Wade.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he fucking drives away. Takes the money, drives away.
money, drives off.
Yeah.
Jerry's pulling in as Steve is trying to pull out, and they almost like kind of crash into each other. They swerve out of the way, and then pardon me.
Carl has another encounter with a gate attendant. He's like, "How you doing? Can I have your ticket or whatever?"
Yeah.
And we sort of just cut away from that. We go to Jerry, and he's discovering Wade's body. And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like,
He opens his boot, which I can only imagine that he stuffs him in
Puts
it.
the body in.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
interesting. No, neither.
Yeah, he pops his boot when he gets there.
That makes
And,
sense.
Maybe trying to conceal the evidence, but it's a bit too late for that, because when he comes on his way out, he sees that the toll booth, the ticket guy has been fucking shot. He's
Yeah.
just dead, and the gate is like broken.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Carl has legged it, and it's kind of funny. It's like almost Carl took out his anger on this toll guy because he couldn't before.
Yeah, because he had to pay the $4 before.
Yeah.
And now it's just fucked him up.
Yeah,
That's
on
funny.
the way out, Jerry's like, "Oh, jeez."
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And Jerry's like, "Well, that went terribly." You know, he has no more influence. Like, everything's just happening around him.
Yeah, things are just going fucking nuts around him.
Yeah. He comes home, and Scotty's like yelling out to him, just like, "Oh, what's
What's
going
happening?
on?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah,
Poor kid.
time for bed."
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah. And then we're at Mr. Mora's place.
Oh yeah, new character.
Yeah.
And is it Lou? Lou's.
Yeah, I think it's Lou.
Yeah, Lou's kind of not interrogating him, but this guy called the
Just
cops.
getting a statement, yeah.
Yeah, giving a statement. And he pulls up to the guy, and the guy starts explaining the combo he had with Carl. It's like, yeah, this guy at the bar is like I'm gonna go crazy down at this lake house.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's like, you know where I can get some action? He's like, what kind of action are you after? He's like, what kind of action do you think I'm after, you fucking idiot? Going crazy down at this lake house.
Cool.
He's like, oh, I don't do that kind of thing, you know? And it's like, what, are you calling me a jerk or something? See, the last guy called me a jerk. He's not around anymore. It's going crazy down at that lake house.
Yeah, I love how much they repeat themselves.
Yeah.
It's so it's like endearing. It's so funny.
Yeah. He's a real one, this guy.
He's like, oh, you got a description? He's like, oh, he's a little guy, kind of funny looking.
Yeah.
He's like, in what way? He's like, in a general kind of way.
Yeah, then you know they're onto a good clue, a good lead.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's Steve Buscemi. Yeah.
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 Fits the profile. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, well, thanks. It's probably nothing, but yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Thanks for
It's all
reporting it anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks. So,
Gets Carl in his car counting money, and he looks
Yeah.
rough as fuck.
yeah, he looks fucked up. He's
Yeah.
using paper towels to stitch himself together. But, you know, he's also looking at the money and he's like, whoa.
He's got $1 million.
He's got a
in front of
mill.
him.
And that's,
Yeah.
he didn't know, right? He thought he was getting 80K, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the plan, yeah.
Yeah, and he pops the
Yeah.
briefcase and sees 1 mil. So now it's established that Jerry's trying to
Yeah.
So get one over on him. Pull a fast one
over on Wade.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Jerry, you conniving little fuck.
You little
Yeah.
fucker.
So Carl, he takes the money and he buries it out by like this fence along this highway. And after he buries it, he puts like this little like ice scraper thingy. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, something.
And he like sticks it in the snow to help him sort of remember where it is.
Or just put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very haphazard plan.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, $1 million change a man.
Yeah. Yeah. He runs back to his car, falling over and shit. And
Stumbling around.
cut back to Margie.
Yeah.
She's on the phone.
She's on the phone with her mate. This was a good one. I liked this bit.
Yeah.
So why don't you take
Kinda
it from
getting
here?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
go.
she's on a phone call with her friend, talking to her friend about her experience with Mike, Mr. Mike Yanagida, and kind of relayed some of the information about Mike, talking about how his wife passed away from leukemia. And then Margie's friend essentially just drops the bomb that Mike lied about everything, pretty much. So Mike was never married to that woman. She's still alive, and Mike is essentially a bit of a failure. Living back with his parents and stuff like that. And I like this scene because essentially I think it's it's inferred or, definitely written in, but I think it's what really causes Margie to look back into Jerry. Because I think after that first bit, right, because I got the scenes mixed up, but after that first bit, I think after Jerry said that they hadn't lost any cars, she just leaves straight away.
Yeah.
And essentially,
Yeah.
I thought that maybe she was suspicious of him because of his attitude, but I think maybe she did clear him.
Yeah.
And only after the revelation with Mike being a liar did she think about Jerry again. And I think that's why she went back to talk to Jerry again, because I was trying to connect the dots and be like, why did she go back?
She's trying to find that missing link. And,
Yeah, and I think that was a really interesting way to essentially fill in the gap of why she went back to interrogate Jerry further. Because otherwise I was like, because before I made that connection, I was like, why did this happen?
Yeah.
But again, in such a concise, compact told movie, I was like, this has to mean something. And that was the best I could do to surmise.
It's almost like a diversion for Marky.
Yeah, and that was the best I could surmise of what happened. So I can only assume that's not up to interpretation. I think
somebody's clicking away right now.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah, I can hear that.
It's just me habitually clicking my mouse. But I can't hear it because of my headset.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's like definitely part of the narrative and not something that I'm just.
No, that does make sense to me because I was trying to figure out what Mike's
his relevance was, right?
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did they kind of shoehorn that in?
Yeah. It's a bit strange.
It was interesting. It was interesting instead of having Margie just kind of have like an on-screen revelation or even an off-screen revelation, they decided to show that revelation through this scene, but they didn't even show her having the revelation. It just led to the next scene, which I think was a very interesting way
led to infer that she's put two and two together.
Yeah, exactly. Before
then me. Yeah. And then she stops for a burger. She gets a bite to eat. And then she goes to see Mr. Lundegaard. Yeah, bloody Hardee's.
Love it.
Yum, 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 yum. Why'd you take it away, Brendan? What happens here?
So we're at the bloody dealership, and we're hanging out with Jerry, and he's writing down some, I'm assuming, the serial numbers on the piece of paper.
Yeah. He's
like, I gotta fucking figure this out. I gotta falsify this in some sort of way and send it through. And Marge sort of intrudes on this to come and ask some questions, and she mostly does away with like the nice sort of attitude. Like she's still like using some of those pleasantries, but she's being pretty insistent and kind of just taking control in the scene. And she's like, how do you guys like control your inventory, like your like stock take and stuff? How do you keep count of all the cars that you have on the lot? And then Jerry, he gets snippy. And Marge,
she's like, don't get snippy with me.
Yeah, she's not impressed.
It's like, I'm not arguing. I'm cooperating. I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Marge is like, you know what? I think I want to talk to the owner. I think I want to talk to Wade. And we know Wade is dead as hell.
Fucked.
And Jerry's like, all right, fine. We'll count all the cars on the lot. Have it your way. Oh, okay. So he sort of like storms off. He goes to count the cars. She's like, okay, right now. And she has a little bit of a peep at the serial numbers while he's away.
Yeah.
And then
just looking around his office.
Yeah, and then she sees out of the corner of her eye he's getting away in like a random car. And she's like, for Pete's sake. He's fleeing the interview.
That's so good. Margie.
Calls someone. She's calling someone to let him know. And then you cut to old mate, I think, in the cabin.
Yeah, Grim. We're back. We haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he's having his TV dinner.
He's watching like a soap opera and eating TV dinner.
Yeah, it was like so invested.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. Have you seen that? It's probably you haven't, but it's the gorilla. He's like eating like a capsicum or something, and then he just stops and his mouth is ajar. That's what it reminds me of.
I think I've seen that
scene.
I think I have too. But you described it in such a fucking crazy way. Like, I don't know any sane person that would be like, oh, yeah. The gorilla with the capsicum. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
For if there's any American viewers, a yellow pepper.
Yeah, bell pepper.
A yellow bell pepper.
Yeah.
He's just munching, and then just aghast at whatever he is looking at. He's just,
Alex loves monkeys.
I love monkeys.
He love ape. He love monkey.
I love ape.
Monker.
I love simians. I love pro-simians.
Monk.
Yeah.
I love them all.
So, he's captivated, and Carl shows up, and he's all bloody. And for a second, you think Grimm's gonna be like, "What the fuck happened to
Like,
him?"
what happened? Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's like, "I don't really give a shit." And he goes back to his shows. And yeah, Carl's just, he's whinging. He's doing Carl stuff, and he looks over at Jean, and Jean's like, her chair's been like tipped over, and she's kind of just laying on the floor.
She's slumped.
Yeah. And he's like, when did that happen? And Grimm's like, oh, she was fucking moaning and whining and whinging about something.
Making some noise.
Yeah. Doesn't really go into detail about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carl's like, he gives, he's trying to pull a fast one. He gives Grimm his half. And he's like, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. I'm taking the car. And Grimm's like, nah, the car's supposed to be split. Everything's supposed to be split. If you want to take the car, you have to pay me for half the value of the car. Yeah. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. I got shot.
He's like, how the fuck are we going to split a car?
Yeah.
I got shot in the fucking face. I've been up for 36 hours. I'm not fucking splitting a car with you, fucking sucker.
I know.
Yeah. And then, you kind of think Grimm's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care that much. But then when Carl's on his way out, he like badmouths Shep Proudfoot. Tells him he's going to fucking nail his ass.
Oh, yeah.
And Grimm's like, what the fuck did he just say? And Carl's walking away, sort of like muttering to himself or whatever. And he turns around and Grimm's got a fucking axe and he just fucking chops him right in the jugular.
Yeah, just fucking axe murders him.
Tomahawks him.
Such a brutal way to go.
Dawn. Then we're at Moose Lake with Marge.
Margie.
Yeah, Margie. She's driving around.
Yeah.
Just in the corner of her eye, right? Corner of her eye.
She's talking on the radio.
Yeah, talking on the radio about...
She gets someone lets her know that Stan called the cops, like he called it in.
Yep.
Let him know what's happening, so it's everywhere now. Everyone's looking for these guys.
Yeah.
And what were you saying, Nick? Out of the corner of her eye.
The corner of Margie's eye, what does she see? She sees the tan... Insert car model.
Sierra.
The tan Sierra.
Tan Sierra.
Oh, yeah. She's already on the radio, so she calls that shit in.
She calls it in, and she finds the golden lead, or the golden clue that they've been looking for this whole time. And so she's walking, following... getting closer and closer to this car, and we start to hear a sound of like a chainsaw. Then, it doesn't take you too long to realize that it's the sound of a wood chipper. And obviously Grum is just...
Brum?
The car?
Sorry, it just reminded me of Brum when you said Grum.
And obviously, Carl Buscemi is getting just shoved down this fucking
he's getting
chipper.
he's getting tenderized.
He's getting just And there's just, by the time that Marge reaches or is able to see what's happening, it's just, Grum shoving him down the wood chipper, covered. The whole area is just covered in blood.
Yeah, it's like a foot sticking out of the top of the wood chipper as well.
He's trying to get it through with a piece of wood.
What's even the point at that point of
cold.
like trying to cover up a murder? There's blood everywhere.
And that's just cold. Yeah. I thought the same
cold.
thing.
That's
though. I was
cold.
like, how is he gonna cover this up? There's blood everywhere.
I also thought this.
What was his game plan?
I don't know.
I think he just likes doing it
or something.
Yeah, bury it. But I was like, damn, man, that's cold.
It's cold.
That's
as fuck.
cold.
Colder than that red snow cone.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't eat the red snow.
Nuh-uh.
But I just thought it was so, like, what a way to end Marge's case. You know, she's like a 5 foot, 7-month pregnant woman from Minnesota, like confronting a big 6 foot, 5 grizzly bear of a
Axe
man,
murderer.
axe murderer. We've seen him kill 4 people in this movie alone, and all he can do is kind of just try and run away.
Yeah. Throws the wood and tries to run.
Just tries to leg it after everything we've seen him do. He's now the coward, and then she just iron sight from the hip, pops him in the leg.
Straight from the hip. At high noon, just.
Yeah, she was fucking styling on him. She put the gun back in the holster just to pull it out again. Fucking
Yeah, she spun it on her finger and she blew into the fucking barrel as well.
And then one pulls a cigarette.
No, she's pregnant.
She lights her cigarette off the barrel.
Yeah. It's like,
But she doesn't smoke it because she's pregnant.
yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. And that was the coldest. That was the coldest scene of them all.
100%. Because Margie, she's the fucking goat.
She's the goat.
She is.
She's her. She's him. She's that bitch. She's fucking. She's just it. She's an it girl.
She's the it girl. She's Jason Derulo's it girl.
You could be my it girl.
And that's it. That's Margie from Minnesota is JD's it girl.
Yeah.
He's Norm's it girl. She's Norm's it girl.
Norm is Jason Derulo's it girl.
You could be my it Norm.
You're the shit,
my
Norm.
3-cent stamps.
Oh yeah, just a nice reminder of how shit those lyrics are.
You're the shit, girl. I'll buy you all the worms in the world.
Fucking Margie.
My 3-cent stamps.
Not that 29. Oh man.
Where are we again?
Yeah, so we're in the car.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much at the culmination of the movie where Margie's busted. The big baddie who's literally just meat grinding. Carl Buscemi.
Fucking axe murdering, people grinding psychopath.
And then from the hip, just knocks him down, and then
Straight in the leg, yeah.
boom, straight in the
Badass.
leg, and they haul them off in the police car.
And then it goes to the final scene, right?
Yeah, she's lecturing
Pretty
him
much.
in the car.
Yeah, she's
That's
pretty
right.
she's pretty disturbed by this guy, and she's like, all that for a little money.
bit of money.
There's more to life than that,
Yeah. Which the crazy thing is, like, Grimm has no idea that there's like $1 million involved yet. Like, he was just gonna get $40,000.
40 grand, yeah.
Yeah.
He killed 4. That's
Just
like
killing
10K a person.
10K a person, 10K a head.
Yeah.
That's some pretty discount prices.
Yeah. She's like, there's more to life than money.
Yeah. And it's like she says for a little bit of money, and we know as the audience, we know that it literally is just a little bit of money in the grand scheme of everything that's happened.
Yeah. She just doesn't understand. And then here comes the cavalry. All the other police cars are on the horizon, going the opposite way, going to the scene of the crime.
That's right.
And she, when she's talking to him about it, she's like, I assume that was, that's Mrs. Lundgaard on the ground as well. And sort of alludes to like, okay, was probably dead when we saw her.
Yeah. It's without necessarily saying it, I guess, it was inferred that when she was making a fuss that he killed her.
Yeah, because otherwise they'd still be at the scene of the crime, and he'd be in the car, and they'd be waiting for like an ambulance to arrive, right? But
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Grimsrud had killed her, which is a bit of a shame. And literally, the son is just an orphan now.
Yeah, because in Bismarck, they're knocking on the door. They're like, Mr. Anderson, can we come in? But we know it's not Mr. Anderson. We know it's Jerry. And then he gets fucking arrested.
Yeah, the owner of like the motel just unlocks the door and the cops come in. And he's just wailing and crying
He's just
like a little
screaming.
bitch.
Yeah, he's
Just
like,
going,
literally just screaming, and at that point you're just like, man, fuck
So
this
pathetic.
guy.
yeah.
This guy's a weasel.
Yeah. And then finally we're at home with Marge and Norm. They're in bed. They're being cute. And Norm's like, they announced it. 3-cent stamp. For his
hell yeah.
for his bloody mallet that he painted or drew or whatever. And Marge is just super supportive. She's like, "That's awesome. That's that's the best." And
I'm so proud of you, Norm.
yeah, and Norm's a little bit down in the dumps. He's like, "Yeah, but it's not the 29-cent. Not a lot of use for a 3-cent stamp anymore." And Marge is just like, "Well," and Marge is a genius, by the way. So she's like, "Yeah, but some of these people use it for like this reason, so it's probably going to get a lot of use because of that." He's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." It's like only 2 more months until the baby. And they're like,
He's like, I love you, Marge.
Yeah. It's a nice reflection that they're both doing well. Both doing well for themselves.
Their relationships thriving, their personal lives are thriving.
They're about to have a little baby.
The Bible.
A little bubs, and it's nice to end the film again, just bringing into light how casual their lives are. Like, despite everything that we've just seen, they don't talk about the crime, they're
just normal.
it's just it's just her job. That's it.
It's just her job, and it's the first time that I think they even really allude to her being pregnant.
Yeah.
Like bringing the baby up. Like, it's the first time they even talk about it, really.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. That's the end.
That's
the end
And
of
it rolls out.
Fargo.
That's Finn.
What'd you guys think? Good movie, right?
I mean, we pretty much just
bloody
retold it from start to finish. It's like watching the movie twice.
Yeah, that's the podcast for you.
Yeah.
And just really kind of reinvigorated my love for the movie itself.
Nice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we really highlighted
I think
its strengths.
I think hearing your guys this is what I enjoy so much about having a guest on. Like, I love hearing Brendan's interpretation of the movie, especially like when we were watching Joe Black last week.
Meet Joe Black.
He really opened Meet
Yeah.
Joe Black.
That movie's
Yeah,
fucking
he really opened
awesome.
my. He
Yeah,
really
it is.
opened my eyes at the end of the movie. He actually changed
fall asleep?
my perspective on it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I fell asleep. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't the biggest fan.
Yeah.
But at the end, when Brennan made that, I guess it's like a allegory for, I can't remember, for life and death.
Yeah, I said
Yeah. The
that,
party.
you know, Joe, he's standing outside of the party, and that party was is sort of like the metaphor for life in this
Spoilers for Joe
situation.
Black.
Oh yeah, spoilers for
3
Joe Black.
spoiler warnings in one podcast.
And you know, he's outside the party, and that's how he's like existed it like his whole life. Right?
Yeah.
He's always been outside of life, outside of the party, looking in to the party, and you know, it's bloody Bill's party,
Yeah.
and like his party's about to end, so his life's about to end, so like he leaves the party to meet death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of wraps around to what I was saying before. Like, it's really good and fresh to hear other people's perspective on things and kind of get a different take. That's what I enjoy so much about these guest episodes, and especially reading through it again, hearing what you guys think of it. Gives you a new... I guess it just gives you a new perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to repeat myself, but yeah.
Yeah. I've also heard from some listeners and viewers that they really enjoy the guest episodes.
Yeah. Guest episodes are peak.
They go hard.
Hell
I love the guest
yeah.
episodes. Hell yeah.
Yeah, well, it's good. Like, because I didn't really pick up on everything. You know, you can never really do on the first watch of a movie ever. So it's like a lot of those little tidbits that even you brought up, Alex, I didn't really even see.
Yeah, and it's the same thing for like things that you brought up as well.
Yeah, so it's just like a nice way to fill in any blanks where I'm like, that. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what that meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of things I missed as well, like filling in the blanks. Like I'd really like the interpretation of the whole Mike subplot, and that sort of like leading into connecting the dots and revisiting Jerry,
Yeah. Yeah, like I like that too.
because that's something I missed.
Yeah, because it was like, because I was just trying to figure out why we just saw that, like, of a movie that was like so concise thus far.
I'm thinking now that it could also be like a way of showing that, like, even though she knows Mike, but it's like almost her work bleeding into her personal life, I guess, when you also bring that aspect into it. That's kind of a reach a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm grasping hard. I'm pulling.
No, that kind of makes sense because it's like her very,
Two things she tries to keep separate, I guess.
yeah. But yeah, look, it was a really good movie. Very deserving of its 8 out of 10 rating. I think after talking about it again, I'm definitely like, I could even push it to an 8.5, to be honest. Like, it was a very, very well
That's your
made
rating?
movie. I would say so.
Maybe yeah, okay. We can do that now.
Let's do it. You know what, Nick? I'm right there with you. 'Cause I was going to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10.
You know what, boys? I'm right with you, because I was going to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10.
There it
Oh
is.
my god, that's a
8.5s.
score of 8.5 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Don't even need to calculate the average on that one.
Nuh-uh. That's perfect.
Yeah. I reckon I'm going to move the rating part in the run sheet above the favorite and least favorite parts. It seems to just happen quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
Nice.
But speaking of the favorite and least favorite parts, I'm going to start with questioning Alex. I want to guess what your favorite and least favorite parts are. So I'm going to start. My guess for you, Alex, is the parking lot where he drives around the parking lot a lot for a long time. I think that was your favorite part.
Okay. It's not.
Okay.
It's not, and I'm insulted.
No, that's a good guess.
Nick, you want to give it a guess?
Of Alex's favorite part?
Yeah.
Was it when Shep was just thrown around naked Carl?
Also a good guess. You guys know me so well, but not well enough apparently, because
Dang.
I think my favorite scene had to be the one at the end where Margie. It's just so tense. She's walking down and she finds this fucking lunatic stuffing people in a wood chipper.
Yeah.
It's like the culmination of all her efforts, and it's just like such a great payoff. Mm-hmm. And you get to. I was really scared something was going to happen to her. I'm glad nothing did.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Unscathed.
I would have to say unscathed. I would have to say naked tossing of Steve Buscemi would be a close second. Probably tied with when she's on the phone to Mike and she's going, "Oh yeah." I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it is kind of goofy.
I should have guessed that. It's so stupid. I forgot about that.
Forgot about the jamming of the man and the meat grinder.
Yeah.
Of course that would be.
That was fucking hilarious. I loved that bit.
Of course that would be first.
Alrighty,
Okay.
guys.
So,
We're going for my least favorite scene.
yeah, I'm going to try and guess your least favorite. I think your least favorite bit was the sort of plot hole of the blood on the snow. And like not really
That not
thinking
making
that through
sense.
and how he's going to deal with all of the blood on the snow, and like, you know, he's grinding him up, but then what?
Yeah. Okay. Nick?
Least favorite part. Maybe when the mum bans the kid from watching hockey. I know you're a big sports guy, so maybe that one of your greatest fears resonated.
It was actually when Steve Buscemi put his clothes back on. No, not actually.
Getting thrown around both, yeah.
No, not actually. It's when Mike is being really uncomfortable with Marge. It's such a fucking awkward scene.
Yeah.
It was just hard to watch. So yeah, not least favorite because it was bad, but least favorite because it made me feel
Made
bad.
you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess the plot hole with the blood is like, I can let that go. I don't really care about that. Maybe you could justify that by saying, you know, this guy's in a fucking, he just fucking killed someone with an axe. Like, he's got some adrenaline pumping. Maybe he's not thinking. But it kind of almost seems a little bit out of character for him, even though, I don't know, you kind of, this guy's super unpredictable. You don't really know what he's thinking. He seems like he can be a bit rash as well. So you could, especially when he just fucking pops that cop in the head.
Yeah.
Like, there was no other way out of that. You
Yeah.
serious?
He was either super calm or just doing crazy, something nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon
Alright.
we go Brendan next. Save the most interesting for last.
Yeah, save the guess for last. Yeah, makes sense. All right. Give it a guess, boys.
Favorite scene?
Yeah.
Favorite scene. All right, let's have a think. You go first, Alex. You got some.
Oh shit! I forgot to write anything down. Favorite scene. I'm gonna say when Stan kept saying we're not a bank.
That was good, but no, it's not my favorite.
I'm thinking it's got to be. It's got to be one of the scenes where, some of the pieces are starting to come together. We're starting to crack the clue as an audience, because I know that you're very good at problem solving and kind of putting all the pieces together. But I don't have a specific scene in mind. But that would be my guess, somewhere in that vicinity.
It's similar, yeah. Kind of on brand, yeah. Yeah. Should I give it up?
Go for the reveal.
Yeah, give it up.
Yeah, so it's when we're introduced to Marge as a character, and she arrives at the scene of the triple homicide, and she fucking just girl boss detective situation.
Yeah.
She's just like, yeah, I think this because makes sense. It was like this and then this and blah 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 and this. And
She's
like,
a fucking ace detective. She's so good.
Yeah.
Like
Goated.
girl boss in like the nicest, coolest way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like not in a cringe way.
Yeah, and just like just
Like
like,
actual
this is,
girl
I'm good
boss.
At this. This is my
I
job.
genuinely think Marge is like one of my favorite female protagonists that I've seen like on screen. Like she's so good. She's such she's so cold. She's just cold.
But
She's
in a good
icy.
way.
But in a good way.
cold as Minnesota.
Cold as Minnesota.
She's just good at her job. She just gets it done. She's not looking
she's
for
a fucking
accolades,
weapon.
She's just using her skills and her mind.
Yeah.
She's fucking awesome.
That's a good one.
What about my least favorite bit?
Least favorite bit?
Was it? Sorry.
It's so loud.
You move closer to the mic.
No, he doesn't.
Insane. Insane.
I want to say
Maybe when Jerry just... Is it Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah, maybe when Jerry just starts to become a cock bitch.
cock.
Just cowardice.
He can't-
Pure
he low-key-
cowardice. Just
He
loses
like he
it.
cucked himself. He gave up his
Interesting.
girl to two thugs.
Interesting. Alex?
I want to say... I kind of want to say like the thing you said for me, the red,
Yeah.
the snow. There's the
We all thought that was a bit of a
snow.
plot hole.
It's a bit of a plot hole. I know Brandon's not a fan of plot holes. Who is? But also just because of how gross it is, maybe. I don't know.
My least favorite bit was basically any scene with Jerry.
There you
He's
go.
fucking doing his fucking weaselly bullshit.
Hey, yeah, I was kind of
It's
right.
just so fucking Jerry, dude. Oh my god, what a fucking despicable human.
Yeah.
What a little
I
bitch.
knew it was just like, that's not the vibe. It's just not the vibe. He's just such a bitch.
Jerry does not pass the vibe check.
He's
He's
just
a
such
fuckwit.
a bitch.
Wade knew.
Wade knew.
He knew.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We didn't need to know anything about them to know that Wade thought Jerry was a bitch from just the first scene that we saw them together.
Yeah.
We knew
Pussy.
it. We knew it.
Yep.
Fuck Jerry.
Nice.
Fuck Jerry.
Ho, ho.
All right, let's
Yeah.
move on to the favorite
Nick.
parts and least favorite parts of Nicholas.
Least
Well, I
and
did
favorite.
mention one while we were talking. See if you remember what it was.
Ah, no.
Well, I didn't say it was my favorite bit. I said that it was one of my favorite bits.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to lock in Iron Sight's Marge.
Ironside's Marge.
What a
Marge
fucking
Ironside's
sick
last name.
Gunderson.
Gunderson.
Ironsight's Gunderson.
Marge Ironside's
That's a
Gunderson.
fucking sick name. She got gun in her last name.
Rightfully so as well.
Oh,
She's
man.
popping them.
I mean, I had a few favorite scenes. I definitely liked that one.
It's hard to narrow down to just one. I
It
feel
is
like
hard.
it's hard to choose.
Yeah.
I feel like Nick liked it's hard. Yeah, it is hard to pick one, but I think maybe like the scene, but a scene where like fucking Norm and Marge are being cute together.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, if there's multiple, I was gonna say when Norm got his 3-cent stamp and she was so
Yeah.
proud of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that one, or when he brings her lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're doing multiple, I want to lock in those two.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Narratively, my favorite scene was the whole Mike thing, transitioning
Yeah.
into her second guessing Jerry. I really like that. Was a really good way to like kind of show and not tell. Really good way to say that. But also, yeah, just in terms of like a general vibe, any scene where they were sharing a meal together,
Yeah,
just eating food together, I fuck with that.
yeah,
I fuck with that
It's
real
big.
good.
yeah. Nice. I was close. I
Yeah.
was bloody close.
Yeah, you were very close.
Yeah, I think least favorite, I would have to say, it's got to be like a combination of Carl being a maniac and poor Jean. So I think probably the bit where she's trying to escape and she's tied up and she's got like the balaclava on her head.
Yeah,
And she's like,
that's
you know,
a
she's
good
running,
answer.
running for her life. And
I remember Nick saying, "That's really mean."
Yeah,
and Carl's
that's
just
mean.
like, he's just maniacally laughing.
Laughing
Like,
at
I
it.
get- yeah.
I think I'm gonna copy you.
Okay.
It's the right train of thought. It was the scene where Carl Buscemi was just yelling at the parking attendant. Yeah, because it's just doing his job.
Yeah.
Man, he's just doing his job and you're fucking
Giving it to him.
Yeah, he's doing his own hustle.
angry at the person, not the problem. You know?
Yeah.
Solving nothing.
And that's cuck bitch behavior as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so cuck.
Not a fan.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our favorite and least favorite bits. Should we transition into favorite character now? Or
I
should
know
we...
exactly
Marge.
what it's going to be. It's definitely Marge
It's
for
Marge.
everybody.
It's Marge.
Marge.
Yeah. We all
I
know it's
made
Marge.
sure to write down as Marge.
It's Marge. Yeah.
Favorite character, Marge.
Yeah.
Marge is the best.
Marge is the best
Character from any movie ever.
Easiest decision ever.
She's just the best. She's the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, she's fucking awesome. It makes sense. Alrighty. Well, how should people enjoy this movie then? Like, what's the sort of setting that we would recommend? Like, personally, I reckon like a good sort of setting would be like, and we do this a lot, Nick, where we sort of get together for like a movie night. We order dinner and we get some bloody snackies. We get our Red Rooster and we fucking chow down and we just try to put on like a nice, enjoyable movie and we just watch it. I think this is definitely one of those times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say watch it in company. Because there's
Yeah.
nice amount of moving parts. It's fun to problem solve with your friends. It's fun to like get everyone's theories out there and
Yeah.
trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's nice to follow along with people.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's some-
And
yeah.
you know what? There's genuinely funny bits in this.
Yeah,
It's nice to
I was
have a
gonna
laugh
say
with
that.
people.
Yeah. There's a good amount of humor.
I think I'm going to show this to my partner. I think she will like this. And she's like I don't know. It's hard to describe her movie taste. She likes to watch like a little bit of everything, but it just can't be like boring. Not too much talking. But I feel like this is like, you know,
Sort of breaks it up a little bit with the comedic relief.
Yeah.
But the comedic relief adds character.
I know that she would fucking hate Jerry.
Everyone hates Jerry.
How can
Who
you like
doesn't hate
Jerry?
Jerry?
He's a piece of
Nobody
shit.
likes Jerry. Jerry doesn't even like Jerry.
He doesn't.
Jerry
He's
hates
fucking,
Jerry,
the
'cause
way
Jerry's
he
a
was
cuck.
squealing. Pathetic. It gives Peter Pettigrew.
So
Just a little shrew bitch.
Just a fucking little rat.
Just a rat.
Just a fucking
shrew
rat.
bitch. Little rat bitch boy.
fucking
Bitch,
bitch.
Bitch
Fucking
boy.
bitch.
Fucking loser bitch.
Jerry.
Fucking
Bitch.
bitch.
Bitch. Jerry.
Fuck you,
Fuck
Jerry.
you, Jerry, you bitch.
Fuck you, Jerry.
Man, William Hazy Maisie is a bloody good actor, hey?
Yeah, he did
Amazing.
well.
He is.
Yeah. He made us
Ma-
hate Jerry so much.
Martin Freeman does a really good job as well.
Yeah, I can see Martin
it.
Freeman being a fucking bitch as well.
Yeah. It's like a different
100%.
character, like, technically, but it's the same vibe.
Same vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Alrighty, boys. That was the favorite characters, and we're going to move on to our final little segment here. One that Nicholas has prepared ahead of time. You gotta hit us with it. What are we
And-
watching? What Alex and I, we're gonna watch a movie next week, and you're gonna choose it. What are we watching?
Alrighty, so this is a bit of a full circle moment in terms of this podcast, because we started off talking about some of my favorite genres of movies, what I enjoy to watch. I said Hong Kong action movies and kind of slower paced, more dialogue, more nuanced films. Now, there's one film that's in the middle of those two. It's a Hong Kong film from the year 2000 called In the Mood for Love.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay.
A Hong Kong piece. Get ready for subtitles because it's in Cantonese. Yeah, I don't think it
I
streams on
speak
anything.
perfect Cantonese.
Yeah, I was just about to check.
I don't think it streams
Wow, it's got
anything.
good ratings.
It has
Bet you
very
got a
good
bloody
ratings.
Blu-ray, don't you?
I've got it on DVD. DVD.
I knew it.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
It's called In the Mood.
In the Mood for Love.
In the Mood.
In the Mood for Love. Yeah. A bit more of a
Mood for
nuanced piece with bits of the story are told very subtly.
Pits and bits.
Bits and bits of the movie are told quite subtly, and it's a lot of
Do you think anything might be lost on us?
Shit.
Like, do you think we might not pick up on some of the nuances?
Not so
that
much.
could be
It's
in
not
the movie?
necessarily nuances based on the language or the maybe a little bit based on Cantonese culture, but not enough to derail you completely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just more.
Yeah, if you haven't already gathered, Nicholas can speak Cantonese.
That's where my love of Hong Kong films comes from. Was watching these when I was a kid. So
But this is a very highly rated movie as well. So
Very, very
sounds
highly
like It's gonna
rated.
be a fucking banger.
You would have seen, if you've looked at the cast, you would have seen Tony Leung probably more recently in Shang-Chi.
Ah.
Oh yeah.
He
Who
plays
does he play in Shang-Chi?
he plays the main guy that has the 10 rings.
The dad, right?
Dad, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Shang-Chi.
Wasn't he in Infernal
once.
Affairs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He's one of the mains in Infernal Affairs as well.
Yeah, sick.
So yeah, you definitely recognizable actor, very, very famous in Hong Kong and Chinese cinema, is very famous for his expressive eyes. So definitely keep a lookout for that in this movie as well.
Right
But
on.
definitely, like, it's a bit slower. You know, it's a bit more, like I said, a bit more subtle and a bit more nuanced. So definitely, you know, you're not going to see any Jackie Chan triple spin kicks or anything like that.
That's cool.
But yeah, hopefully you guys
Hey.
will enjoy it.
Share
Hell
this
yeah. I mean, sounds
podcast. Share this podcast to someone who loves Hong Kong cinema.
Yes, do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
There's no reason not
share
to.
this and share this podcast to someone who loves Brum the car.
Yeah. If you remember Brum, the little yellow car, share this podcast with someone that you know used to love Brum.
Brum single-handedly catches thieves.
What a fucking weapon, am I right?
Catches thieves, is solving crimes, much like Margie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of parallels to draw between Brum and Margie.
Couldn't agree more.
Alrighty, thank you so much for listening and watching this episode. Listening to and watching this episode of Who Watches Us, the movie podcast where we watch the movies, but who bloody watches us?
Who bloody watches us? And
Yeah.
thank you so much, Nick, for coming on today. It's been great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making the time and being here, and thank you for your recommendation. We'll be watching that with Infernal Intent. What was that movie called? I tried to make a
That
pun.
movie was called Infernal Intent.
Was that what's it called?
Infernal Affairs.
Infernal
Oh,
Affairs.
fuck. Yes, I tried to make a pun and fucked it up.
Yeah, very nice.
You know, it made me laugh, so that's a win.
That's
Yeah.
a win in my book.
No, it's been fun. It's been very fun, guys. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for having me on. I hope you enjoy.
Anytime, man.
I hope you enjoy the movie I've recommended for you, and I'll be watching you watch that.
Hell,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So tune in for that bloody next time.
Yeah, leave
It's
us
gonna
a
be a good
bloody
one.
leave us a bloody rating on the Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and give us a fucking tell us what you thought of this movie in the comments as well. Are you gonna give it an 8.5, you sheep, or are you gonna do something different?
Yeah.
Tell us your
Yeah.
favorite character and why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us why
And
Margie's
go-
your favorite character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, go watch our movie to movie challenge that we put out. I think when this comes out, it will be a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it was a cool little video. I think it came out like 18 minutes. It's a little bit sort of short form, but it was a lot of fun to make it, and hearing some good things from some of the people that we've sent it to so far. So yeah, check it out if you haven't already.
Heck yeah. And share this podcast with someone who maybe needs to clip their toenails.
Can't send it to myself.
All right, thank you so much. Bye bye.
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 See
Bye-bye.
ya.
Bye.
See ya. Hey. Scan on.
Bloody hell, boy.